Anyway, we are starting. So today we are without Michael, but all three of us, I mean, four of us are here. Brian, that said, you're
Oh,
not.
Brian's here?
Yeah, Brian was here, right?
Well, I don't know. Is he in the Discord?
Yeah, Brian
Oh,
is,
yeah,
but he's muted for
he's
some
muted.
reason.
Yeah. No. All right.
So I hope that
And
you
he's
unmute
I'm
him.
here. I'm having internet issues on the computer though, so I'm out of Roll20.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, as long as you are
I turned on airplane mode and I can't figure out how to turn it off.
on your
on
PC.
your phone or on your machine.
On the PC. It's just being sluggish, and
Oh, okay. Because
I might
you
have.
should be able to go down to that little. I mean, I'm assuming you're on a PC.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you should be able to right click. There's a right click or left click. Let me see. Yeah, if you left click,
Oh,
if you
go back to that. My wife
if
has
you
helped
left.
me right now.
Okay, yeah. It's just if you left click on your internet connection symbol, it should pop up with the internet, the Bluetooth, and the
Okay, there we
airplane,
go.
and you can click that
Got it.
off.
We turn it off. Let's see.
Sean to the
That
rescue.
doesn't even. I was on Roll20 a minute ago and I got bumped for some reason.
It's stuck in airplane mode.
No, it's just slow.
Well, anyway, you tried to do something with that, Brian, and we'll continue with experience points and stuff like that. So, Johannes, let's start with you. Are you buying anything for your character? Right.
I am not because I only have 85 XP because I spent everything last time.
85 XP. All right. Well, it's still like 15 XP to go, so after this session you'll probably be able to buy something. Gaston Larue, what about you, Gaston Larue? Are you buying anything?
I got 275 XP.
That's a lot.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
That's two full
I guess
advances. Because
yeah.
as we said earlier, every advance costs 100 XP, unless of course stated otherwise. So you can buy potentially 2 upgrades to your character. That's nice.
Yeah. I think what I did last time, but I mean, I guess I could probably try to increase strength and toughness. And
Yeah, if you can increase toughness, you switch to 52 toughness, so then you have toughness bonus of 5. That's actually really good.
okay.
So
Super good.
assuming that you can, of course, that your character sheet allows you to do this, but I think it should, right?
I think so.
Okay, so let me put it that way, because on every career allows you to buy a certain amount of upgrades to your skills. So for example, if you have plus 10%, you can buy you essentially buy 2 upgrades, because every skill upgrade is plus 5%. But you can buy more than that, unless your next career will grant you a potential bonus of plus 15%, which grants you 3 upgrades. You're right now on Knight of the Realm. Yes, Knight of the Realm.
Yes.
So let me quickly see how many upgrades can you buy actually.
Yeah, the way I started doing it a while back was to make a copy of the career somewhere, or or write down, and then just kind of write on it, tick off how many times
yeah.
I've taken an advancement.
That's a very good approach, and I mean, everyone should do that. When I was playing, I also did that. Just you place little ticks right next to the skills or traits that you already bought, so that way you won't be able to forget what you already have. But I see that you have toughness bonus. Your total toughness bonus can be plus 15%. So I'm pretty sure that you can buy this, Andrew, of course.
Yeah, I only recall him buying plus 5 toughness, but I wasn't paying attention to everything he did.
I think that you only bought it once before, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't think I bought it last time. I can't remember what I did last time. Actually.
Last time I think weapon skill, perhaps. Anyway, you can buy this without any
Probably.
bonus,
Yeah.
because Knight Errant has plus 5% bonus, and Knight of the Realm has plus 15%, and I don't think that even Grail. No, actually, Grail Knight has plus 30%. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, super soldiers for you, right? Okay, so you get that, and what else? Because you still
I
have
said strength, right?
yeah, you can. You also have plus 15% strength from the Knight of the Realm. Just let me quickly switch to him. Oh yeah. Yeah, same with strength, toughness, and agility. So you can buy plus 5, and that way you have 45 strength. So another plus 5 will grant you, a strength bonus of 5. That is very, very good.
Okay.
And you have 70 points
That-
left. Yes?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Or 75, right?
75, yeah.
100 for each.
Yeah, 100 for each. So your current XP at the top of the sheet, yeah, exactly 75. Very nice, very nice. So after this session, you probably get another,
Taylor?
another advance. Yeah. Sorry, what was
Taylor?
that? Brian? You were saying something? Okay, maybe not.
I was asking my wife for computer help again.
Okay. Do you want to, by the way, buy anything, Brian? Or I mean, do you remember if you can buy anything?
I can't. Well, we're actually moving rooms right now. That's why my computer's kind of messed up.
Oh,
But
okay.
I can't find my notebook that I have all my upgrades in, so I'm gonna skip XP for this session.
Okay, sure, no problem. I mean, if
That's easier than me taking something I know I have and not marking it in the notebook and taking it twice later by accident. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yep.
So right, no problem. So notes this session, Sean, you're making them, yes?
I think it's back to my turn, so I will just do it.
Okay.
'Cause it sounds like Brian's not prepared anyway.
Yeah. So Sean, if you could take it from here, 3 sessions, and then maybe either Brian or you, Andrew. That depends.
Okay.
Yeah. I know Andrew's done it at least once, so.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet at all, so.
Oh, you haven't done it yet at all?
Yeah.
I thought you did. I thought you did it when you started. Maybe I'm mistaken.
No, I think.
I mean, I took a bunch of notes personally, but I didn't
Oh,
didn't
okay.
do it for everyone.
Okay,
So.
don't worry about it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Thanks, Sean.
You can get the hang of it. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So last time we ended on a cliffhanger, so to speak, because Lambert went to his extended family's house / bakery, or rather pie shop, and found them all, well, in a bad shape, so to speak. And Johannes, Gaston, Gustav, and Marla, you followed him. And things happen. Gaston, you watched from afar with Marla as Johannes and Gustav try to approach the guards and the priests of Verena guarding the entrance to the scene of the crime, and everything seemed to be going well until, well, it really didn't. First, Lambert left the place, a broken, hollow halfling. I won't say broken, hollow man, but that's not really true. And Gaston, you decided, if I recall correctly, to follow him to see where he's going. He was escorted by 2 city guards in the Altdorf livery. Meanwhile, Johannes, you were, if I recall correctly, just talking to various priests and guards. Right, including Captain Kunibald Klosterman.
Yeah, and they told me to get lost.
Yeah. They told you to get lost. Wait a second.
And I managed to meet up with Lambert. I thought back at the wand.
Yeah, and actually the guards, they asked you if you know Lambert, and you said no. And you also didn't knew Gustav. But then, if I recall correctly, Lambert was leaving the place, and he said that he knows you.
Right, but somehow I got out of it.
Yeah, you got out of it, and you returned to the wand, or you are returning to the wand. Gustav, however, I don't recall the exact circumstances and reasons, but You were talking with the Verenans, including Father Friso. I've added his likeness, his face to our handouts, and of course Fengat to Dishonored.
They were pressing me about the where the murder scene was the other night, where it was with the Sigmarites.
Yeah, yeah,
And I figured they either already know and they just want to see if I'll answer, or they don't know and I really shouldn't be telling them.
yes, that's true. And you talked mad shit to Captain Cannibal Klosterman,
I told him it's right up his mother's cunt.
yeah,
Yeah.
who responded in the only way he probably knows how to, by punching you in the face. By the way, Cannibal Klosterman is also in handout sections, and this is one of David Gallagher's best works, I believe. I mean, at least for me. He essentially looks like that, including the pistol, the armor, stuff like that. He punched too hard, you fell on your back. Marla tried to come to your assistance, and she got slapped. One might even say, sorry for that joke, bitch slapped. But yeah, she got hit really hard by the man, who's obviously, of course, he's a tough, brutal, uncompromising officer of the law, and well, it ended really the only way it could, with Gustav being, manacled, with getting manacled, sorry. And yeah, and Gustav, let's start with you. You are actually, you are being dragged right now by the few guards. Kunibald actually stayed at the place of the crime. A couple of his men are like pushing you, or rather dragging you along to the nearest workstation. And they're not overly brutal to you, of course, but they are also not very gentle. You are, as I said before, shackled with your arms behind your back. Right? This is the word, shackled, right? With shackles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manacled, shackled, yeah.
Thanks. Manacled, shackled, exactly. Of course, most of your stuff has been taken away from you, mainly your backpack, your dagger, naturally, because they disarmed you, your staff, if you had it with you, and I presume that you have. They're not saying anything, honestly. They're not taunting you or anything like that. Tell me, do you want to say anything, or do you want to do anything?
Under my breath, quiet enough so that they can't hear what I'm saying. I'm gonna say, "Oh magpie, make my mind sharper than their swords."
All right. Under your breath, let me quickly just see one thing. They won't be able to hear the exact things that you're saying, but you see that one of them, or rather feel that one of them, probably turned his head towards you, but they're not saying anything. People are moving out of the way as you're being moved towards the grim and unforgiving building of a local watch station. There are many places like that throughout the entire Altdorf. They are usually placed on a corner, on street corners, and they look more like miniature, like castles or forts. Very fortified, very defendable, and you usually don't want to get inside unless you really have to, or unless you're being dragged into inside. And yeah, one of the guards opens the door, reinforced door made from probably Reckland oak, reinforced with iron and steel. You enter inside, and you can, of course, already smell the very characteristic aromas of place like this, like naturally, lots of sweating bodies, but also coming from the lower parts of the station, where the cells are usually. Smells of fear, of feces and urine, of probably too many bodies squashed together. And there's the grim, like, watch officer sitting behind a high desk. It almost makes you feel like you're standing in front of a judge, of a man who already decided your fate, but he only took a glance at you, then took a glance at one of the guards. the fuck did he do? And you know the guard is saying, oh well, this man here, he visited the place of the Halfling massacre from last night, and you know the guy behind the desk is like, oh, yeah, and he decided that it was a very good idea to insult Captain Clusterman. Oh, he says, you know. Then he looks at you. You're not very smart, eh, boy? Yeah, you're not very smart at all. So, tell me, and he, you know, leans towards you. What made you attack an officer of the law?
I think it's the Verenians that were dividing us.
What? Are you saying that the priests of Verena are to blame? Boy, you are digging your own grave with statements like that. Let me tell you.
I don't want to get caught between a dispute of a jurisdiction between the Church of Sigmar and the cult of Verena.
Church of Sigmar, and you know the man looks at the guard. Wait, the officials from the Church of Sigmar were there? No, sir, they weren't, says the guard, and looks at you strangely, Gustav. I honestly have no idea what this young man is talking about.
They were demanding information about an investigation I'm helping the Church of Sigmar with.
Oh, I
If you
see.
ask me, I think that's overstepping their authority.
Well, are you a priest, young man, by any chance?
No, but I am very devout.
Then you should know that the priests of Verena are also investigators, and while of course Church of Sigmar, hallowed be his name, is taking care of almost every single aspect of crime, heresy, and any other unpleasant thing happening in our empire, it's the Verenans who are usually responsible for common crimes, even the most horrible common crimes, like what happened to those poor halflings in that pie shop. They have full jurisdiction.
I'd hoped to assist in the investigation until things got out of hand.
Why did you want to assist with an investigation? Like, who are you exactly?
I'm a physician
Yeah, and
of the deceit.
The guard actually, you know, he intercedes and he says that this young man claims that he's a physician of the halfling who ran the place. If I recall correctly, Dankmar Lightfoot, and you know the guard clerk behind the desk. He is like, oh, I see. Well, I'm sure that when Captain Clusterman returns, he'll decide what to do with you. Meanwhile, you'll spend a nice, cozy few hours in one of our, sadly, smaller cells, because all the bigger ones have already been taken by all the hoodlums who got caught after those scandalous riots. Drug users, all of them. I can't stand those people, he says.
Riots?
Yes, there are riots. There's a general disquiet in all of the city. What? Were you hiding under a rock for the last week? There's an epidemic of a drug. People are, well, normal people are just going crazy, you know, attacking each other in taverns, at the streets, even in temples. The Crimson Shade, they call it. Sigmar only knows. This is the
I've
last
lost
thing
another
that we
patient to
needed.
this.
Oh, you lost what? Another patient to it? Well, in that case, you know what I'm talking about. And in that case, you really should not be acting just like those ne'er-do-wells, says the man. For shame, young man, for shame. Anyway, off to cell with him. Yes, sir, says the guard. And they essentially take you downstairs to a very dingy, you know, of course, cold and damp, like underground section of the watch building. There are many cells here, quite a few actually, like maybe a dozen, you know, placed in 2 rows of 6 right next to facing each other, and when you go down there, Gustav, you can hear like and people just like emitting those strange sounds, and when you are walking past the cells to your left and right, you can see people literally jumping at the bars, grabbing them and shaking them. Let me at them! Let me at them! You will die! Let me kill you! Let me punch your pretty face in! Says one of them. And you can see, even in the gloom, because this place is very gloomy, that they are absolutely insane. They are rabid. They are just they are mad, and the stench coming from them, like their sweat, it stinks of this narcotic. You can smell it in the air. The guard brings you to the last cell on the right, opens it with a heavy iron key, and rather unceremoniously throws you inside. Says, "Enjoy your stay," and then closes the cell door and leaves you. Are you doing anything, Gustav?
I will. Is it just me in the cell, or is there anybody else?
No, it's only just you. Like, there's only a single person in each cell, and you know why.
I'm going to sit on the cot, I guess, and just stare at the wall, clench my teeth. I gave myself a willpower test. Unless there's a modifier, I would have failed it. So I'm a little punked out.
What was the test for? Tell me.
Just like to see if I'm getting intimidated by all the
by
the people.
Oracles. Okay, so let me tell you that.
Just to see if I could act hard, or if I could.
Let me tell you that.
Shit in my pants.
Yeah, you are essentially locked in a cellar with a bunch of crazies. Like, you don't think that there's a single man here. They're all men, by the way. There's not a single woman here. There's not a single man here who is just, a pickpocket or a footpath caught stealing. No, they are all victims of the drug. And
Okay.
And the cacophony that they are emitting from the cells is just, ear-shattering. You hope that somehow you'll be able to get out of here before night, because you're sure that you won't be able to sleep with that. And I'm of course not going to replicate it, but they are howling, screeching, screaming, babbling, issuing threats to one another, and they are very inventive threats, by the way. Like, essentially rip your eyes out and skull fuck you to death, stuff like that. I'm going to cut your. I'm going to remove your throat with my teeth, and then just punch your innards with my fist, stuff like that. But this is very like it's not your usual, pop tough talk funny. This is unsettling, and yeah, you failed the test. There was no modifier here, sadly, so you are pretty scared, especially since, for example, the man in front of you is just, currently trying to pry open the bars and get to you, and he's saying, "I'm going to get to you, boy. I'm going to get you real good when I get out of here. You scream," stuff like that. So yeah.
Just gonna stare at the wall, tensed up like a mouse trap.
Yeah. And you are waiting. Gaston, meanwhile you. If I recall correctly, you had some good rolls or bad rolls last time. I don't remember, Andrew. You need to remind me if you failed or passed.
I made it back to the inn.
Okay.
I had some bad rolls, but then I had a good one, and an old lady led me to the.
Oh yeah, led him back. That's right.
Oh yeah, the friendly old lady whose son got killed in the north. Yeah, and she's still waiting for his return. Yeah. Of course, you don't know that. She doesn't know that. Son also doesn't know that. Sadly, no one knows that. Only I know that. Yeah, the friendly old lady brought you back to the Street of 100 Taverns, or more specifically to the place that the Shepherd's Wand is located. If you look, of course, at the small map under the big map, then this is like here. I removed all of the markers because they're not really necessary by this point. So anyway, the sweet old lady is like, "Have a good day, Sir Knight, and May the gods bless you in all your endeavors. And she genuinely like warmly smiles at you, waves her hand, and then just goes away. So you enter the place, I presume, yes?
Yes.
Johannes, are you already inside? I think you are.
I thought I was already inside, and I was trying to get food and drink into Lambert, but he is.
Lambert.
I'll say he's.
Yeah. Lambert is right now laying on his cot, facing the wall, and he's not responsive. Essentially, he's not responsive.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if a halfling, when a halfling doesn't want to eat, that's some serious, that's a serious problem. You know that. But the door opens suddenly, and to your small dingy, well, I mean not that small, but to your your room that you share with Lambert and Gustav and Marla, Gaston enters. Gaston, you see Johannes with a bowl of food, sitting on the bed on which Lambert the halfling is laying, facing the wall. And you can see, Gaston, that Johannes has this look on his face that is probably a mix of worry, maybe slight exasperation, I can imagine, and this I don't know what to do next kind of look, right? Johannes, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and Johannes, you see that you see, of course, the huge armored frame of Bretonnian just entering the room. Please, guys, take it from here.
Gaston, I'm glad you were able to make it back. Sorry we got separated.
No worries at all. Where's Gustav?
I don't know. He was still talking with the investigators when I left.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed to get out of there because I was afraid of being arrested. And I was concerned about Lambert here, who seems like he's in a really bad way. I'm trying to get him to eat, and he won't look away from the wall or turn over in the bed. So I guess we'll just have to let him sort of work it out internally.
Understandable.
Did you see anything else before you left?
No, unfortunately, I tried to follow Lambert and the guards and ended up getting lost. The old lady helped me back.
Yeah.
Thank the lady.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, fortunately, they were just escorting him back to here. So.
Sounds like it was a waste of my time to begin with, then.
Well, it's the thought that counts. But yeah, it's hard when you're new to a city, and it's very crowded, as you can see.
Yes, and everything changing constantly.
Yeah.
So we don't know where Gustav is. You didn't see anything happen to him after he was talking?
No. The last I saw, and I guess I don't know where Marla is either. Well,
I know she
I guess
ran
what we should
guys.
do is let's go downstairs maybe and eat a little. I'm assuming it's evening now, right? Or is it afternoon still? I don't know what time it is.
No, it's afternoon because you. Yeah, I think it's late afternoon, but it's not yet evening.
Oh, that's right. We were eating breakfast or something,
Yeah,
and that's when they
so
came.
it's not even late. It's probably mid-afternoon, more like. So you are all a bit hungry by this point, of course.
Yeah.
Well,
how about Gaston? How about we go downstairs and grab something to eat and wait for Marla and Gustav to come back. And then if they don't come back in a reasonable amount of time, we'll have to figure out what to do from there.
Sounds like a plan to me.
At this, when you are discussing this, and you hear, and sorry for just let me quickly.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thing. Yeah, sorry, throat irritation. Anyway, as you are discussing this, suddenly you hear a sharp knock at the door. And a young man's voice, actually young boy's voice, saying, Herr Johannes, there's someone here to see you from the... And you can hear this tension in his voice. From the college.
Yes, okay. I come to the door and open it up. Thank you, son.
Yeah, you
And
see one
I'll,
of the, you see one of the boys serving in the inn.
Hmm.
You know him by now, like he often served you food, like and he looks at you with this, you can see now that he's kind of afraid, because you know what kind of college he just mentioned, of course.
Yeah, I hand him 5 pennies.
He's like, he quickly pocketed the money and he's, oh, thank you. The courier is downstairs outside, right next to the door. And he also bowed very low to you, Gaston, when he saw you, because, obviously you're a knight and, he's a commoner. And then he quickly scurried away downstairs. So, yeah. What are you guys doing?
Okay. That's an interesting turn of events. Would you like to accompany me downstairs to see what this man from the college has to say? Gaston?
Oh, did you hear me?
No.
I said
No,
yes.
now I can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
I didn't know it cut out.
Now we can hear you, no problem. Okay. So you guys go downstairs. You move through the, at this time of day, already rather crowded common space, because this is like the lunch hour. So there are quite a few people here, eating lunch. And of course, when you move through them, Johannes and Gaston, you actually see that most of those people recognize you, and you see mostly friendly looks, smiles, nods. Of course, Gaston, you are aware that many people here look with huge respect at you, and they nod their heads or even like bow their heads slightly. But both of you have a feeling that this place, like, it's really yours. Like, you are recognized here, and generally probably even liked here, which honestly for old world and and its grim realities is a very like refreshing change, so to speak.
Yeah.
You go outside onto the street, onto the small, like there's a very small square in front of the tavern with few side streets connecting the place to the street of 100 taverns, and you see actually that there's a runner, a young man, with long blonde hair, tied together with a small band, and Gaston, you don't really know the symbols on his tunic, but Johannes, you were in the Life College of Magic, or rather, like, the College of Jade College.
The Jade College.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jade College of Magic. And so you see that he has, this long tunic with the symbol of the college, the tree scale, and he looks at you, Johannes, bows his head, and says, "Herr Johannes, I have a message to you and your comrades from Magister." What was the Magister's name? From Magister Shrek, and he handles you a sealed scroll tube, again with the symbol of the Jade College. Then bows his head once again and leaves.
Okay, so he doesn't need me to read it before
Oh.
and give a response back. Okay, all right. Okay.
You open the scroll.
I say thank you,
Mm-hmm.
and I take it. I say, we should go someplace private to read this.
The room, perhaps?
Yes.
You go back to the room. You close the door. The scroll, or rather the scroll case, is made from a very fine leather. It's of course sealed with wax of high quality, and there's the symbol of the college, of course, pressed into the wax. You can feel, Johannes, that inside there's just probably a single rolled piece of parchment, nothing else. There's nothing like making noise like I don't know, a stone or some kind of heavy item. It's really there's only paper inside. So I presume you open the scroll.
Yes, I open the scroll.
The scroll explodes.
In the
Everybody dies. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, you open the scroll.
I check for traps.
You check traps, the scroll for traps. All right. Actually, that's very sensible. No, I mean you open the scroll, and for a second, Gaston, Johannes, and of course Lambert probably also, but he's catatonic. You can smell this very nice fragrance of fresh forest, like this is no joke. Like if you would, like in our real world, if you would activate one of those fragrance devices in bathrooms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is essentially the same thing, but instead of smelling artificial, it smells real. It smells like you are in the middle of a healthy verdant forest in the Empire, but only for a few seconds. And you produce the piece of parchment. You can read, Johannes, right?
Yes.
Gaston, can you read or not? I don't think so.
I'm guessing probably not.
Yeah, I don't think that the knight.
I don't need to know how to read.
Yeah, you only need.
All I need to know is how to kill.
Exactly. That was my thought. So, Johannes, you check the scroll, and
I will read it aloud.
sure. And the message honestly is very short. It's from Corbinian Shrek, the Jade Magister, and it says, "Meet me at your meet me tomorrow. Sorry, at noon in the Gold College of Magic."
Okay. That's clear enough. What do you think?
That's pretty clear, but why?
It's probably has to do with that horrible, terrible dagger that Gustav found.
I think that was one session prior to you joining us out of character, so
Yeah.
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 you would just now
No.
be learning about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll fill him in on the backstory,
Well,
which is that
actually, remember that Lambert, before he went to his uncle's shop, when you were all eating a meal right before heading to Dankmar's shop, he mentioned that he mentioned the daggers being found in the Golden Triangle Club, that they actually have quite a few of them upstairs, and they're just hanging on the wall in this impromptu armory, of theirs. So Gaston, you would know probably what dagger he's actually talking about. What kind of dagger?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But of course, Johannes, you can tell Gaston. Although I think that Gustav told him about the attack in the Great Library in Altdorf. I think Gustav that you mentioned this to Gaston, that you were attacked.
I think so. Yeah.
And that the Magister in question, Corbinian Shrek, helped him defeat and kill one of the assailants, and he drove away the other one. They wore those strange, silver or rather glass masks on their faces. There's no address, by the way, Johannes and Gaston. There's no contact someone at the entrance. Shrek just wrote, "Go there tomorrow. I mean, be there tomorrow at noon." Now, Johannes, you can roll, and I think Gaston, you also have Common Knowledge Empire or not? Tell me.
I will use a luck to not flub that. Okay, hey, I succeeded.
Because I don't know.
I have.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what. I have common knowledge. Where is it?
It would be because of the way the character sheet works. You'd have to have put it in under advanced skills and wrote it in yourself.
No, you have heraldry. Sorry.
Oh,
you don't
it's
have.
Just not. Okay.
You don't have empire. You have Bretonia. You have heraldry, but you don't have empire. So sadly, you don't know where to. You don't know. You don't even have a slightest idea where the Gold Coach is located. However, Johannes, you have a pretty good idea where it is actually.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm glad I didn't assume it was in Nuln.
yeah. Yes, yes, yes. The gold coach is located in a place in a district called Hexer Bazilk. And yeah, and it's located there. It's in the northern part of the city. So actually, you know where you are right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's that. It's not that far from here. And from what you remember, the gold coach actually is not you know, it's not mystically hidden or, you know, just removed from the eyes of mortals, stuff like that. It's rather easy to find. You of course you've never been there, but you know that you'll probably be able to find it without too much of a fuss. Yeah, actually it is very close to your location.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, well, two things. One is I think we need to keep on waiting for Marla and Gustav, and also waiting. I'm hoping that the kids with the info. Oh, because because oh yeah, that was it. When we left, Lambert was making soup for them, but they hadn't come back yet, had they?
No, not yet, sadly.
Yeah. Okay, so we need to be available for them, and then I need a bathroom break real
Okay,
quick.
yeah,
Sorry.
sure. 5
All right.
minute break and
I'll
we'll
go
be
ahead and
right
do the
back.
same thing then.
Yeah.
you were talking about the old world, or like
Mhm.
the game, the new game or whatever, new but not new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid. I bought the Bretonian box.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I since I have so many old models, but I'm also just it's just a fad.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
Well, I
so
mean,
I tried to, when I was like in, I don't know, 6th grade or something like that. Like my friends were playing Warhammer, like, or quote unquote were playing Warhammer. Like I
Right.
finally convinced my parents to get me like a regiment of Skaven, a battalion of Skaven or something. I forgot what it was.
yeah.
And I got them put together. I don't even think I primed them because I didn't know anything. And like they
Right.
were painted really shittily. And like I was like, okay, let's do something there. And was like, oh, we're not doing that
Testers
anymore.
paint the
Oh yeah, you put testers, testers
the
and nail.
Yeah,
glossy
no,
ass
exactly.
paint.
I had testers for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of when I was getting into Warhammer, I was like, I was just like, oh, these are cool, and I started assembling my orc army, and then I tried to get all my friends into it, and they were just like, oh, I don't want to paint and do all that stuff. I'm like,
Right.
pussy.
I do remember though because my friend had like some books. I don't know if they were just like White Dwarf magazines or if they were like just the general rule book. And, I remember like thinking that like when I bought the box they were already gonna be painted like that. Like didn't
Yeah.
even realize at first.
Mhm.
So I actually didn't even getting back into it until about like 3 years ago. So
I'm here.
Yeah,
Everyone's here?
when I was
Sorry.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, when I was getting into it, I was still buying blisters. You could see the metal miniatures in the blister,
Right.
and it was just around the time when they were raising the price because they had to switch to in quotes white metal because apparently somebody had sued them because their kid was like licking the miniatures.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how shit happens. Is somebody decides to sue you, and then all of a sudden you're on the hook for whatever, and they're like, okay.
Right.
But,
Okay. Brian,
but
you
yeah,
here?
but
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead, sir. Sorry. Didn't want to interrupt you.
no. I mean, I'm just in my day,
Yeah, back in my day.
we got lead poisoning and we liked it. Yeah. Okay, so essentially now, I think what's happening is we're playing the waiting game because we feel at least Johannes feels like he needs more information before he decides to go off and do something crazy.
Okay.
And also, I would like to hear a report back from Gustav and Marla,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully they will return, even though I know they won't, or I know Gustav won't. But
Also put out those flyers too, right?
oh,
I think you already did put out those flyers,
Yeah.
I believe.
yeah, that
I was
was
just saying we put up. So are we waiting for a response on that as well?
well. The flyer, the applicants are supposed to meet at the One-Eyed Miller at sundown and ask for
Okay,
Oleg.
well, yeah, okay, well, we'll have to do that if later.
Okay.
But it's not sundown yet, so we don't have to worry about that. So
Yeah. So, Gustav, back to you. You are sitting in a cell. You've been sitting in a cell for like a good hour by this point, and all of your, fellow prison mates, they're still going strong. Some of them maybe got a bit quieter and more tired as the drugs, they fade from their organisms, but the psychosis, the ultra violence is still there, and by this point, the sound and the ruckus that they are making really starts getting on your nerves. Roll me willpower one more time. No modifiers, by the way. Nice. You want to reroll that or?
No, this
Okay.
it's a character building experience.
True.
It's also not my first time locked up, but I'll go with the dice.
Okay. So you're not rolling.
No.
Oh, okay. So what I want to say is that for now you have minus 5% to your willpower and intelligence tests, because
Okay.
yeah, it really starts grinding on you, the situation that you got yourself into. But after like an hour, you hear heavy steps coming from the direction of the stairs, and you see the familiar face of the guard that brought you here. He approaches the cell and says, "Prisoner, face the wall at the back end of the cell."
I do as he says.
You hear him opening the cell door, and then he quickly gets behind you, of course, and once again takes one of your hands, then the second one, the other one, and just shackles you, and then unceremoniously takes you out of the cell and just says, "Walk." You are and he like leads you out. As you are passing by the other cells and the people who are locked inside, you can hear them, just essentially howling at you and screeching and saying, "Get back! Get back! I want to play with you! I want to play!" Stuff like that. All sorts of deranged, like, screeches and just, comments about how they will do very, very bad things to you. And the fact that you eventually, leave this place and go upstairs, it's a huge relief for your character. That said, the minus 5% bonus still applies for now. It will probably apply to the end of this day. Unless something happens, of course. Upstairs, you can see immediately, you can see the main hall of this place, and the large, imposing figure of Captain Queenbald Klosterman, talking quietly to two of his other men. When he looks at you, you see that he smiles grimly, and yeah, the guard brings you to him. Klosterman, there are like 4 other guards here, including, of course, the clerk, who's leaning with interest to see what will happen now. Klosterman looks at you. He looks you from like up and down. So, what do you have to say for your defense, young man? He says.
Well, I think those prisoners downstairs need water. If they're well hydrated, the Crimson Shade will work its way through their system faster.
Oh, I see. You are a good Samaritan of sorts. That's commendable, but I didn't ask about the scum downstairs, boy. I asked about you. You are in quite a pickle. You've assaulted a captain of the watch. And so, your, future, I would say, hangs in the balance. So how do you think
My
we should
insult was better
proceed?
directed at the Verinians, sir. I meant you no offense.
You
They pitted
mentioned
us against each other.
funny thing. Funny that you say that. You mentioned no offense, yet you mentioned my dear old mother, may more rest her soul. And if I recall correctly, you said something about her cunt. Now that's not very nice, and I don't think that the priests of Varan did anything to do with that. No, I think I know your type. And he points a huge meaty finger. He has those leather gloves, but they are also reinforced with like steel, small steel plates on fingers and knuckles. I think you have problem with people like me.
I
People who
do
are
have
just doing their
much
job.
penance to do before my goddess.
Yeah, you're Shalan, right?
I am. I lost my cool today.
Not very professional for a Shalayan. I always thought that you daft folk are supposed to be cool under pressure and not downright suicidal. Now, he says, well, of course I respect everyone who serves the goddess of mercy. Sigmar only knows that she saved my life quite a few times after a particular vicious fight on the streets of Altdorf. I don't really
If
like
if
being
my hands
called-
are manacled behind my back, I kind of shift to the side so that I can kind of make a sign of the cross with one hand.
Okay, yeah, you do that without any problems. I don't really appreciate people talking to me like that. My rank garners respect. I earned it through years and years of hard work and service. And now there's this snot-nosed Marienberger here calling my dear late mother a cunt. This will not do. This will not do. And, you know,
I'm sure she was a very lovely woman, and my words got away from me.
he's not saying anything as you're talking. He just looks at you. This with, you know, the sidelong glance. At this moment, the clerk says, Captain Klosterman, if I may, I understand that this young man got out of line, but really we have way too much trouble with our prisoners downstairs, and from what the runner said, we may get a lot more till the day is done. The epidemic is getting bigger and bigger, and the entire east side is practically one huge war zone. Klosterman just nods and says, very well. Alright, what's your name again? He...
Alexandergen.
Alright, Alexander. Oh yeah, so, and I don't think you said that you're from Marienburg, right? He wouldn't say that in that case, sorry.
Oh, I think he.
I mean,
I
like,
think he,
I probably have an accent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not
I was
hiding.
gonna say I thought. I mean, I could be misremembering it, but I thought they would be like, "Oh, you're a foreigner."
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, so he stays.
and I wouldn't have denied that either.
Yeah. He says, alright, Oleg. I'm inclined to let you go. I mean, of course I could, you know, see this to the very end, bring you before a judge, maybe even to the Palace of Retribution, eh? And get some small sort of satisfaction watching you getting thrown into a proper jail, or maybe sent to a quarry somewhere in Reichland to work for a few years with stone, with an overseer's whip over your head. But I'm not a vengeful man. No, I think I can let you go. But tell me, how much money do you have right now?
Let me check my character sheet. I think I had some on me and some in floorboard.
He only asks, you know, about your purse.
Okay. I have 10 crowns on me, 16 shillings, 11 pennies.
Sorry, I'm also eating, but I've just muted myself, so you guys won't hear me chew. He says, it's quite a fortune to have their quack. I think your freedom is worth... I'm not a barbarian, I mean. Is worth exactly 10 gold crowns. What do you say? Do you think this is a too high a price?
No, I don't. Sounds
Excellent.
like a deal.
Excellent, he says, and you know, he snaps his fingers. You see that one of the men, his man, he has your stuff essentially. Your backpack, your purse, your dagger, stuff, all the things. He gives the captain your purse. The captain opens the purse, and you know, and you see that actually he only takes 10 gold crowns, pockets them. By the way, you have law, Gustav.
I don't think so.
Okay, so you can roll, if you want, you can roll minus 10% common knowledge empire. Or common knowledge wasteland in your case, but it's the same thing, honestly. If you want.
Law is a talent?
Low? No, low is skill. You can have.
Yes.
It's like I don't know if it's trade law because law is not a standalone skill here. I think it's trade. Like if you are playing lawyer, you have trade lawyer stuff like that. You know. No, okay. You don't want to reroll that?
Yeah, sure. I've got 2 luck left after that.
Okay, sure.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
That's not a botch for
Even
sure.
worse.
That's not a botch. Yeah, you just see that he pockets the 10 gold crowns in your in his reinforced leather purse. Then just gestures at one of the men, the one who brought you from the dungeon, and he opens the manacles, removes them from your wrists. You, of course, you rub your wrists because the manacles are very tight and they are very uncomfortable. The other man hands you back your stuff without a word. And all the guards, including the captain, they just look silently as you probably, put on your backpack, fasten your dagger to your belt, stuff like that. The captain says, "You should also probably train your woman a bit better. Make her remember her place. I went easy on her, all things considered.
Clench my teeth.
But if I'll see you, both of you, anywhere near another scene of crime, well, then I'll really get nasty. Especially with her," and he says. And he has this, really disgusting smile on his face, like, you know what he means. So, I think you're good to go, Shalayan. Spread the good word and help people in these difficult times. And I'll be so kind and fuck off. And he, points out the door.
I smile and I bow and I turn towards the door.
Well, you turn towards that and you probably leave the precinct, right?
Yeah.
All right.
With all my gear minus 10
Yes,
gold crowns.
you have everything else. They didn't took anything from you. They didn't, rob you. He, true to his word, he only took the crowns, nothing else.
How does my face look?
Your face, what is like? He smashed you only once, if I recall correctly, and I don't think he even dealt any damage to you. I don't recall, or maybe
It was 2 wounds, I think.
So, like, you have light bruising on one of your cheeks, but it's not that bad, honestly. And you don't look like your face, is a hamburger right now.
Bummer.
Yeah. So, Gustav, you are outside, and where do you want to go?
To the Shepherd's Wand, I guess.
Okay, so you return to the Shepherd's Wand. Along the way, please roll me perception test, ear-based, by the way.
Okay.
Actually, make 3 rolls, and you don't have to worry about botches. 85, all right. Wow, 7, nice.
Ear-based, I have... Let me see. I have acute something. Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe that was the elf.
Phlebitis.
Okay. Okay.
Assuming the 37 and the 7 pass.
Yes, 37 and 7 pass. So, as you are walking back to the wand, you hear, of course, Altdorf is an extremely busy city. Like hundreds of people on the streets, lots of people sitting, at the tables outside inns, even, talking to their neighbors from the windows of their houses, stuff like that. And through all of the clamor and street vendors trying to sell their wares, merchants offering exotic goods, doom preachers saying that this, of course, are the end times, stuff like that. you hear what normal people are saying mostly, and really there's a lot of talk about about unrest, about general unrest in the city, that there are sections in the city, mainly in the eastern part, but also in northeastern and northwestern parts of the city, that there are those groups of drug users attacking everyone, and that there are random acts of violence, of incredible violence, just happening randomly in houses, in the temples, in inside the inns, stuff like that, and yeah, that the whole situation is slowly getting out of control, and there's a talk of some kind of drag, and of course your usual old warder doesn't know anything about Crimson Shade, because most people in the old world fortunately don't use drugs. But there are talks here and there, and you hear them, Gustav, about when people are saying about some kind of exotic narcotic from Estalia, about something called red shade or red shadow, stuff like that. I've heard that this red shadow is responsible for all this unrest, and there are also rumors even that because of the situation slowly but progressively getting worse, certain parts of the city are being reinforced. For example, the area near the Emperor's Palace and the Great Cathedral of Sigmar, there are much more Reiksguard knights and temple guards patrolling this area. That some inns and establishments are essentially just getting closed, that even in some parts of the city people are erecting barricades and performing civil watches to be on lookout for for any drug crazed madmen and madwomen who are who can butcher you in the middle of the day and don't remember a thing after that. And as you are walking, Gustav, among throughout the talk, the sounds of the city, you can hear from different directions from time to time those screams, those howls, and they really remind you of one thing. They remind you of the dungeons, of the cells. They sound exactly like that, and you are wondering, why haven't you been able to hear them before? Well, maybe before the situation wasn't as dire as now. And you nervously perhaps look around you, maybe see if someone is twitching nearby, maybe to see if someone is huffing loudly and moving their head like a rabid dog, just looking to pounce on someone. You don't feel safe, but you still return to the inn. Meanwhile, Johannes and Gaston, you guys are waiting at Shepherd's Wand, probably for the kids to return, of course. But before the kids return, the door open, and I presume that both of you are in the in the room of Johannes, Gustav, Marla, and Lambert, or not? I don't know.
Well, I was trying to think of where the kids would look for us, and I thought we'd be waiting down in the room.
I mean, at the inn, generally.
Yeah. Well, so that's why I was thinking that we'd wait down in the common room for people to show up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and we were going to go down there for food too.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So, first of all, I would like for both of you to roll me perception tests, ear-based. Nah.
Whoops.
I was trying to find perception on my sheet, but I don't see it.
It's in the regular skills. It should be under outdoor.
If you don't have perception, you roll half of your intelligence, essentially.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
There we go.
So if it's not clicked on taken, it'll just roll on half. for you. Yeah, 17 is
Do you
probably
guys
asking.
want to reroll?
I'll re-roll.
Okay. Gaston has
So
70
I-
perception. Jesus.
Yay!
That's a botch, right?
I'll let it stay.
No,
Was
no,
it minus?
No.
Yeah.
You've passed. So
Yeah.
I just saw two digits
Yeah,
and
exactly.
immediately thought, oh man, it's a botch. Gaston,
Yeah.
you're not rerolling, right? You're
Yeah, I mean, if he passed, I'll just let it go.
okay.
But also 17 is rough.
But also remember that your characters never know if your friend passed something. I mean, usually.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
anyway, so Gaston, you are busy eating, and I presume that you probably ordered something good. Gaston, of course, you've already learned that you don't have to pay for food here. There's some kind of deal with the owner, Finron, that your friends have, and so you can just enjoy free meals, and they are for an empire in there unusually good. I mean, right now you are eating mushrooms in gravy, and washing them down with some probably actually according to my roll, peach juice. So yay, mushrooms with peach juice, delicious. But it's of course very refreshing, and especially since it's hot outside. Johannes, you hear people talking here. As I've said many times before, there are many dockers here, dock workers, stevedores. Probably there are, you can maybe even see like 1 or 2 members of the fish gang who are not making any trouble, but they are, drinking heavily. But you also hear what the people here are saying. And you hear that there's this growing problem with some kind of drug epidemic hitting Altdorf. And that, last night there were even some incidents at the Street of 100 Taverns nearby. Some heavy beatings, stab attacks, stuff like that. No one, you hear that no one died, but quite a few people got, had to be taken to the healers with serious enough wounds. And that apparently there are, entire sections of the city that are now very, very dangerous to enter. Even ones that were dangerous before, now they are just outright deadly. And people are worried. People are worried that the authorities don't have it under control. That this epidemic of this narcotic, and actually you hear the name Crimson Shade a few times, is getting more and more serious. Are you doing anything with that knowledge? Or just keeping it to yourself?
Well, I will just mention to Gaston that it sounds like the problem is getting worse because people are I don't know if you hear that, but all these people are talking about crazy individuals and riots and dangerous situations in the streets that weren't happening like even a week ago.
Sounds like we're losing the war on drugs,
Yes.
which I declared.
Yeah. So I really hope that Gustav and Marla are okay.
It's at this moment when you're saying Gustav and Marla okay that you see that the door opens and in goes Marla, and she looks like hell. Her usual, very nicely cut and very well maintained very well maintained clothes are dirty, caked in mud and blood, her blood. You see that she has a dressed wound on her face, on her nose to be precise. But yeah, both of you can even see that that someone did something very bad to her face.
I jump up from my chair and rush over to her to see if she's okay. Ask her if she's okay.
She croaks slightly. I'm fine, she says. That fucker took Gustav. Bastard. All guards are bastards. Agape. Okay, yeah, she says,
Police.
yeah, fuck the police. No, but she essentially says, "Oh, guards are bastards." She really does, and you know that's not very safe in Altdorf. Even here, there are from time to time guards, who visit this place to enjoy a pint or two, or maybe eat some meal. But she says that rather loudly, and you can also see that, of course, in her eyes there's this anger and fury mixed with pain and this indignation. Because she essentially got beaten up, and you know that, Johannes, and you too, Gaston.
Can I tell if she needs any further treatment? Because I do have the heal skill.
No, she actually says that no, thank you. The Tileans at the place of the crime, they treated my wounds. I have I probably have a broken nose. But I'll be fine, she says. Can I get something to drink?
Yeah. I snap my fingers. Boy.
One of the
Marla a drink. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the serving boys just rushes with the kitchen, and meanwhile Marla sits right next to you, Gaston. She looks grimly around the place. You can see from up close the Shalayan priestesses did a very good job with dressing the wound immediately. But you would know, Johannes, that if her nose is broken, it will probably have to be resetted, in order to heal properly.
Right.
So yeah, she will need some kind of medical assistance. Gaston, you saying anything?
My lady, I wish she would have stayed, not ran off.
When you say my lady, you see that she actually blushes a lot, and she says, "Oh, thank you, Sir Gaston. That's very nice of you, but I was afraid that my sweetheart would get himself in trouble, and of course he did." She says, "Johannes, you by the way also listen. You hear this because you are sitting. All three of you are sitting together." She looks at both of you. The guards took him away.
Do you have any idea where?
No, I only learned that the bastard who took him and who did this to me is named Kunibald Klosterman. He's a captain in the city watch, and apparently a hard son of a bitch, she says, as she takes a huge swig of ale that was just brought to her. Gustav, he said something to him. I didn't hear that properly. I don't know what it was. The man punched him. Gustav fell on the ground, and then honestly, it was kind of my fault as well. I jumped at the man to protect Gustav, and then he simply slapped me. The man is like, that fucker was 2 meters tall and built like a brick house.
Yeah.
And after that, they took Gustav away. They manacled him and they took him away.
That's not good news. I'll see if I can figure out where they've taken him. And but I we'll send Gaston because they can't know that I know him. Otherwise, I'll be in serious trouble as well. All right. Out of character. I'm assuming that at this juncture, timeline wise, that Gustav is still in the cell. So I mean, I don't know how long it's been, but I'm thinking that that Johannes would still think that we need to hear from these kids first, and that's an important thing, and then we can look for Gustav.
I mean, without even roles, Gaston, Johannes. Gaston, maybe you're not too well versed with that kind of thing because you're not a commoner. You never had any problems with the watch in Bretonia, but Johannes, you would know that if he assaulted, a city
Mhm.
watchman, a captain, then
Yeah.
this is potentially very serious, including a long time in jail, or or worse. Because
Hanging in one of those cages at the.
the
Yeah.
empire is technically still at war.
Yeah.
That's and I mean City Watch, according to Karl Francis decree, is now mostly formed from actual soldiers, so that Klosterman fellow is probably a captain in military as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
can I say something to Marla?
Mm,
We're
be
still
my
at the
guest.
table.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Marla, next time we are out, you see that captain that hit you, know who he is.
She looks at you and she nods. Thank you, said Gaston. I will, but I don't want you to get into any trouble. That Klosterman, I know the type. Like, I just know. He enjoys power and he enjoys hurting others. I've seen it many times.
I also enjoy hurting others.
She looks at you, with those wide eyes, and Johannes, you probably, you hear steel in Gaston's voice, probably. I would guess, Andrew, right? Like this
Yeah.
cold tone of of a merciless killer. Because let's face it, knights are merciless killers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they're for, to defend their lands from the threats, internal and external. So she just nods, and then looks at you, Johannes. I mean, she just nods and says, "Of course I will. Thank you." Then looks at you, Johannes. Is Lambert here? How's he holding up?
Yeah, not very well. I think maybe he could use a feminine touch.
Yeah.
Not in a you know what I mean, a motherly hand.
Yes, I know. She says, like, with this face expression of stop it. Yeah, I get what you mean. I've talked to those priestesses who patched me up after that bastard struck me. They went inside the place. They didn't went into any details, but they said that during all of their years in service to Shalia, they never saw anything like that. That it was beyond vile, and I'm so sad that Lambert had to experience that.
Yeah, I really think that actually it would be good for both of you if you were able to just sort of spend some time with him and just kind of honestly just hold him.
All right,
I think that would be helpful.
he's upstairs, right?
Yeah.
I'll go to him. But please, if you learn anything about Gustav, I can give you all of my money. I want him to be out, to be free. I don't want him to be in the hands of that son of a bitch any second that is necessary.
We will move heaven and earth to get him released if he is incarcerated. Don't worry about that. He him and I are brothers of the road, and I will not let anything happen to him.
She's genuinely thankful to you, and she finishes her admittedly small mug of light beer, gets up, hugs you hard, Johannes. Slightly bows to you, Gaston, because again she knows that you are a nobleman and she's a commoner. But you also see that she's grateful to you for the wars before, and then she goes upstairs, to the room to comfort Lambert. You guys, meanwhile, Johannes and Gaston, you are, after that, I don't know if you want to talk about anything. If not, then we can skip to the next part. But if you want, of course, then be my guest.
Um, I would just say, while I'm sure she appreciates the gesture, Gaston, I think we need to tread very carefully with threatening violence on any officials in town here for the time being. It's unfortunately not the way the Empire works. There's no gentlemanly combat to settle
Too
our
bad.
difference. Yes, it would be simpler if we could just have you fight for Our Lady's honor, but that's will not work in the city here. I lay some common knowledge Empire on him.
I just nod and drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gaston just nods, drinks, and looks into the distance, imagining himself choking the life of Captain Klosterman as the man, claws at his face feebly.
Yeah.
And so, Gustav, at this time you are still walking back, so I didn't forget about you. It just like they didn't took you that far away from the place of the crime, but the what's the word? The precinct, so to speak. It's slightly further from the inn than the actual scene of the crime. So when you are like very close to the Shepherd's Wand, Gustav. Meanwhile, Johannes and Gaston, you see, as you are sitting in a common room, that the door opens and one of the kids, actually their so-called leader, Tijman Neuer, enters. Your typical street kid, quick on his feet, probably very smart and very, with very strong survival instinct. It only takes him a single glance to locate both of you, and he approaches both of you. And Gaston, you probably didn't saw him before, right?
Right,
I don't recall.
I don't think so.
So he looks at you, Gaston. He looks like up and down. Well, damn me, a real knight. You are hanging with those geezers, sir?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Are you hanging out with those geezers?
Indeed, I am.
All right. So I guess you're in charge. So because you're a knight, and knights are always in charge. So.
Well, let me stop you right there.
All right.
You can speak to Johannes.
Oh, so all right. I get that. I get what you mean. You are. He's your underling. All right. So I'm going to speak to you, Johannes. Sir, he says. And
Thank you, Herr Neuer.
oh, it's now Herr Neuer. Wow, color me impressed. All right,
well.
you want me to? You want me to tell you about what we find out here, where everyone can hear us, or do you want to go somewhere cozy and nice and private?
I would like you to come upstairs to the room with us, and we will bring the soup that Lambert made for you.
Oh, that's mighty kind of you, mighty kind. All right. I mean, the soup is for all of us, and the rest of my gang is waiting outside. So maybe if you could arrange so that my friends can eat now, that would be very, very nice of you.
We'll have them clear a table for
No. It's fine. We can eat. They can eat outside. They can go on the street. It's like,
Okay.
Don't you worry, boss. Don't you worry. No, don't you worry.
Okay, I'll have someone bring the pot out to them.
Thank you. That's mighty kind of you. Mighty kind, he says. And so I presume that you go to the bar, Johannes, and just.
Yeah, I say that pot of soup that Lambert was making earlier with the gold crown in it. Take it outside to the boys and let them have it.
The bartender nodded. He he went to the kitchen. You know that the kids in a few minutes they will eat their fill, essentially. Tigman is waiting for you to deliver the instructions, and you see that he's eyeing you very closely. You guess that if you wouldn't do that now, he would probably not speak to you. He's making sure that his friends will get the food before he'll tell you what he's seen. After that, you all head upstairs and you enter the room. You can see Marla laying on the bed with Lambert and just holding him, not saying anything. You're not sure if they're sleeping or not, but this seems peaceful enough. Tigman, of course, he looks at that and raises one eyebrow, but he's not saying anything. Then he spins on his heel, facing both you, Gaston, and you, Johannes. You guess that he's probably like maybe 15 years old, 14 years old, but given his mannerisms and especially his eyes, like his eyes are those of an adult man, and from the scars on his forearms and his face, it's also clear that he knows how to fight. Some of those scars, Johannes, and you too, Gaston, because you are a knight. You see that they're clearly been dealt by a knife or some kind of blade. He says, "All right. Well, we did what you asked us to do, right?
Yeah.
We took a close eye on the lady and her manor. The crazy old bat really is living right next to the Palace of Retribution. I mean, how crazy is that, eh?
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, old bat. I'm not really sure if she's old or not, because we saw her a few times, emerging from the place. There's always this black coach coming for her whenever she goes outside. Like this very nice black coach pulled by 4 black strong stallions. She has guards, of course, and they are all men, well armed, well armored, and from my limited experience, I would probably say that they know how to use those weapons that they have. She doesn't really have any guests, like she's not bringing anyone in, but she does leave the place during the day and also during the night. And she only travels north. Well, obviously, she's in a coach, so we weren't able to really follow her all the way to her destination. But from what we gathered, it's northwest and northeast of the city, so somewhere near the walls, the northern walls,
Okay.
Yeah, and that's strange because. Like, I mean, it's clear that the woman has, lots of clanks, lots of carls. You know what he means, lots of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and like, I don't know, that doesn't seem like there are any things there that could be interesting for her, Yeah, sure, there are a few restaurants here and there, stuff like that, but clubs maybe. But again, we have no friggin' idea why is she visiting those places. Like there's the Guild of Imperial Cartographers near there, and the Imperial Counting House, sure. And there's the, if I recall correctly, chapter house of the Knights of the Blazing Sun nearby. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, huh? Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I mean, there's the Wolftor district, is named. I don't know if you boys know, but I'm sorry, sir. Didn't want to insult you. You fine men. I know if you know that, but it's named for the road leading to Middenheim, city of the White Wolf, eh?
Okay.
And so there are quite few Middenlanders there. and other northeasterners. We usually don't go there too often. They are strange folk. But I mean, that's for a lady like that who looks like she farts out perfume. I have no idea why she would want to hang out with some dog lovers. Pardon my Bretonian.
Yeah. Yeah. This is very, very strange.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the thing is that the woman itself, she gives us the creeps. Like, she's really weird, man. Like, she's really fucking weird. Like, she's tall
Yeah.
and lanky, and like the whole thing is that sometimes we swear to run out. It looks like she's almost floating in the air instead of walking. It's very strange indeed. And there's this otherworldliness to her. Like, her guards are normal. Her guards are human. I mean, they don't have their faces covered or anything. They look like tough bastards and all, but they're human. They're human, yeah. But she always has this long, like, claw on her face. Like, you don't really see the details. She's dressed almost like she's in perpetual mourning. All blacks and dark velvets, dark purple velvets. And so maybe we thought that helped. I mean, there's the haunted cemetery of Old Altdorf there, right? The place that you really should not visit. And we thought that maybe she goes there. Maybe someone,
Right.
Maybe she has a relative or two there. But nah, she doesn't go there. At least we don't think that she goes there. I mean, everyone besides knows that this place belongs to the, well, I mean, first of all, it's forbidden to Altdorfers, and only the priests of Mor can enter the garden, and they rarely leave. So, he essentially, because he essentially just babbles, like he's talking very quickly, and you see that if you won't interrupt him, he will probably keep talking. So if you guys want to interrupt him, please tell me.
Well, I would say, okay, that's very useful information. But so now we need to add another layer of watching her. Okay.
If you're paying, you're
yeah, of course.
You can ask us to do what you want us to do, but like, look, we know that she's probably dangerous in some way, right? And I'm not going to risk the lives of my friends and myself to do some witch hunter's work for you.
I understand, and we all we really want is information. So we want you to see if you can, with the people if you can figure out where it is that she's going. So you don't have to see it yourself, but just if you can find people who say, oh yeah, I saw that carriage.
Yeah.
Stop over here. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the strange thing about the carriage, right? Because we thought that maybe she's nobility. I mean, I even think that you told us that she's nobility from None, right?
That's what we were told. Yes.
Yeah. So get this, Johannes, and he talks to you like he's probably like his equal. So I know if you like that Johannes or not. He's much younger than you, but again.
Well, actually, he's not that much younger than me.
Okay.
I'm pretty young.
Okay. So anyway, but he says, yeah. So, and I'm sure that Sir Knight here, and he points out Gaston, will confirm what I'm about to say. Most coaches for noble lines have their crests on them, right? The heraldry. Yeah, but this one doesn't. It doesn't have any markings, like none at all. It's like jet black with brass ornamentation, very expensive and reinforced, by the way. It's clear that this thing could probably take a cannon shot or two, but it doesn't have any characteristic markings on it. Yeah.
Alrighty. It doesn't, but so you don't, because it sounds unique in that the way it's constructed and the lack of that everything's all black. I mean, how many all black
Coaches in
heavily.
Altdorf, there are like that. Probably not
Yeah.
too many. And
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So if you could put out if you could put out a search for any information about where a carriage like that has been seen in the northeast northwest sections of the city, so your boys don't even have to necessarily see it. They just have to hear from somebody. Oh yeah, I saw it over here. See what I'm
look,
saying?
yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to tell me. And sure, we can do that, he says. But just so you know, this will cost extra because essentially extra. It's not extra for us, but we will need
Right.
clanks to pay, informants, so to speak, to pay people who will be able to tell us if they've seen that. And
We need to grease the wheels of industry.
yeah.
I understand.
And of course, this is on top of our own fee, because if we are to, we essentially did our job for you guys. Yeah,
You did.
Yeah, so if you want us to help you further, we're more than glad to do so. You pay well and you feed us. We are all very happy. But, and you see that he is very serious right now. We are also not stupid to know that this is some spooky level shit, right? That this is something
Absolutely.
something strange. And
Yeah.
we get that. Sure, I mean, this is Altdorf. There are colleges here. There are foreigners here. And he quickly looks at you, Gaston, like he said something inappropriate. He's not following with that one, of course. No offense, Sir Knight, sorry. But this thing, it smells of danger. So you want us to continue working with you, you need to pay us, and you also need to cough up some clanks, some, shilling dues to grease some palms in the northeast and northwest of the city, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I completely understand.
All right, so let me quickly tell you how much it will cost right here, right now. If you agree, fine. If not, then it was nice meeting you. And he essentially gives you the price. Now, how much did you pay him before? Do you remember?
That's what I was trying to think of, like, shit, how much did we pay him? Because I know
100
that.
gold crowns.
Yeah. Let me see if it's in the notes. Because Lambert was handling all of that, and I honestly do not remember what I know he threw a gold crown in the soup.
Yeah. Gustav, do you remember maybe the amount? Bran? If you're talking, you're muted, by the way. You are muted.
I think he might have been muted because...
Yeah, I was muted. I don't remember how much it was. 2 gold crowns kind of stands out in my head. I bet I might just be making that up. I don't know.
So, for simplicity's sake, Tidgeman...
It was generous, I think, but not like his whole
It was
stash.
very generous. So, Tidgeman tells you that he and his gang work for you for the exact same price, plus a gold crown. So, because of course he and if you ask him, well, why more, then he repeats that he thinks and his people think that this is something very dangerous potentially, and that they don't want to risk their lives and their health for too low of a fee, essentially. But that's only for them and for their informants, for people who will look and report to them. It will be another crown, essentially.
Okay, so what I have here is it's from the 17th of December. The street urchins arrive. We all feed them. So Lambert briefs them to get intel on Guarina for 2 pennies each. 1 shilling for hard intel plus a meal.
Okay.
So I don't know how many of the kids there were.
There were probably at least like 8 to 10 kids, so to speak.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
If it's not noted in the notes, then it would be
Okay. Well, we can say a dozen kids, just to make it easy. There's 12 shillings per crown, right?
Yes.
Because again, of course, once again, I don't remember. But here, I think I have it pulled up somewhere. As a matter of fact, boom. Yes, I do have it pulled up.
Nice.
20 shillings per crown, 200, so 12 pennies per shilling.
Okay.
So
So in that case, sorry. So in that case, he says that it will be 3 pennies per head now,
Okay.
and additional shilling, just a single additional shilling for hard info,
Okay.
And for the other informants, their informants, it will be sorry, not a crown, 4 shillings. You need to give them 4 shillings so they can, pay people to
Okay.
watch those places for them. Like a crown is too much, but 4 shillings should be enough.
Okay, all right. So let me. So I need to get some change from Finron, but I can do that.
Yeah. I mean,
all
that's
right.
like, we don't even have to RP that. You either have it in your purse or you just go downstairs and you get a change. So like.
Okay, so so we say that they're.
By the way,
so
sorry,
I need to give.
Finron is not here yet. By the way, just so you know.
Yeah. But the bartender will
Yeah.
make change for me. All right. So okay. So I'm going to exchange one of my gold crowns for 20 shillings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to give him 6 shillings.
Mm-hmm.
And blah, 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 and I'm going to give him blah, blah, blah. He's getting a calculator.
Sorry, is someone saying something?
I think he was saying something about
You're breaking up, Brian, slightly, and I will need you in a few seconds because it's almost your turn.
and I will also give them 48 pennies.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So 6 silver and 48 pennies.
Yeah, you guys do the
But
math.
you know what? I'll give him around 50 pennies.
50 pennies. Okay, yeah. So you do the transaction. By the way, Gaston, are you saying or doing anything during that or not?
I'm just listening and drinking.
Okay. Well, for you, this is a world that you haven't known by now. I mean, this is the commoner's world. You have no idea how it works or how it worked.
Right.
And probably this can also be pretty fascinating to you. But you also know that, these are the kind of deals that, that take place at the very bottom of the society. So, you as a knight, it may be strange to you, is what I'm trying to say, of course.
Right.
But if you're not
supposed
saying
to do it out of duty and honor.
yeah, but if
not
you're not,
for money.
yeah, exactly. I mean, this, and yeah, because for Knights of Bretonnia, monetary deals are dishonorable. That's why Bretonians don't really like Tileans. Because
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't support hiring mercenaries, but these kids aren't really fighting, so they're just getting information.
Yeah, Tidgeman, when you say that, he whistles like, whoo! I haven't been called a mercenary yet in my young life. That's mighty fine of you, sir. Mighty fine. Yeah. So anyway, Johannes, pay up.
I do.
Yeah, and you do. Yeah, and Gaston, actually, that's really. I mean, you're not in the wrong here. This essentially is hiring a bunch of mercenaries, not to fight, but to gather intelligence. So you're absolutely right. After the transaction is done, Tidgeman, bows very low first to you, actually, Gaston, and then Johannes, he reaches out his hand to you to shake it. Before he does that, he spits in his hand,
I spit in my hand.
Yeah, and then you
Grab
make the
firm handshake.
Yeah, the wet handshake. This is pretty normal in the old world, when it comes to finishing many kind of deals, mainly monetary. So that's not something uncommon, of course. And then he says, "Well, fancy doing business with you." He also takes a glance towards Lambert and Marla, and he nods at Lambert. what's wrong with him? I mean, before last time we were doing deals mainly with him. What's he ate something or what?
No, unfortunately, a death in the family.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks. He says. It's never a pleasant thing. All right, I can see that he's not at his best right now, so I'm not going to bother him. Right, gents, thank you very much for your time. I will join my friends downstairs and maybe even catch half a bowl of soup if there's any left. You can expect first reports from us, hopefully and you see that he's thinking, if we are optimistic, 2 days time from now.
That's plenty. But remember, the most important thing is your safety and the safety of your boys.
And girls, he says.
The safety of your gang.
And you see that he's actually getting very serious and says, yeah, and just so we are clear, I am not going to risk the lives of any of my friends for that. If we think that we can do this, you have my word, and I swear it on Ranaut and good Mother Shalia, that I will return the money to you if I decide that this is not worth continuing, right? And I hope that you understand that.
Well, I will definitely understand that, and we will see how much you have earned.
Oh, all right.
Other than the whole thing.
Yeah, you see that he does the hand gestures, handshaking gesture, like like doesn't matter. He says, "Oh, yeah, I mean, so fine, Johannes. Just one more thing. If we do this, and if you want us to continue working for you, just there's one condition that is not negotiable. We will not go to the eastern side of town, to the east end. I strongly suggest that you also don't visit this place, not with the shade epidemic that is currently happening. And by the way, just you should be careful on the streets either way, with all the crazies running around and stabbing people and each other while under influence.
Yeah.
So like for us, the east end is a no-go. Other than that, hey, we'll be even happy to visit old Carl's, royal bedchambers, but East End, no way. And with that, he once again bows and leaves your room, goes downstairs. You follow him?
No.
All right, because on the way down you hear from behind the door, "Oh, sorry there," and he almost run into someone, and that someone, Gustav, is probably you. As you, I presume, open the door to your common room, to your room upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Johannes and Gaston, you just finished talking with the kid. The door opens. You think that maybe he will return, but probably won't make sense. And you see Gustav van Heck standing in the doorway, looking a little worse for wear. With a nasty bruise on his left cheek, and general his clothes are crumpled and kind of disheveled. Gustav, you see Johannes, you see Gaston, and you see Lambert on the bed with Marla laying behind him, just holding him, and that it's this is no strange business to you. You know when someone is comforting someone. This is what essentially what happens here.
I jump up and rush over to him and give him a big hug and go, "Sigmar be praised! It's a miracle."
I'm gonna pat Johannes on the shoulder and go to Marla to look at her face.
Yeah. When you say that, Johannes, Sigmar, it's a miracle. She of course quickly turned around. And she got up, and you see Gustav. When she gets up, you can see the extent of the damage. You see that her nose is even under the wrappings, it's crooked, it's bent. And yeah, and her, you know, she didn't even have time to change her clothes, so the top of her tunic, of her shirt is all bloodied up. Gaston, are you doing anything, by the way, when you see Gustav returning?
They give thanks to the lady.
Yeah. And Marla gets up, and you know, of course, she also rushes to you, Gustav. She hugs you very hard. She says,
I'm sorry, this is my fault.
you stupid boy," she says. But you know, you can hear that she's very grateful and very happy that you return. And of course, after a second, you feel her tears on your shoulder as she sobs quietly. Lambert, meanwhile, is not even looking, you know, looking back. You're not sure if he's sleeping or if he's just laying
Just
on
catatonic.
sorry, what?
Like catatonic almost.
Yeah, you see that he is alive, he is breathing, but he just stares, or rather faces the wall. Eventually Marla lets you go, Gustav, and you know, she gently touches the cheek that is bruised. "What that fucking bastard did to you," she says.
What he did to you.
"Well, he broke my nose." By the way, of course I can't RP that, but she sounds different because her nose
It
is
sounds
broken.
nasal.
Yeah. I mean, that absolutely. What that fucking asshole did to...
Yeah.
Does it look properly set?
No. You see that, Gustav. You see that probably the two priestesses of Shalia, like they've patched her up the best as they could. You know, the two women that were at the scene of the crime, but of course, given the situation and the environment, stuff like that, they weren't able to administer proper healing. And you know, Gustav, same as you, Johannes, that if the girl's nose is to return to normal, it will have to be set back.
Yeah. I should know how to do that with surgery, right? I mean, not like it's a surgery, but you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that said, of course, this is not super easy procedure. But you are confident that with Johannes' help, you would probably be able to do that even in this room.
When you're ready, I think I could
What?
properly set your nose.
You see that she looks at you with this slightly frightened gaze. Set my nose? What are you talking about?
It needs to be set properly so it heals. Otherwise, it could grow crooked and you have problems breathing.
Wait, so you're going to break it more? She says. She actually lets you go when you are saying that. Like not, she's not angry, but you see that she's kinda afraid, and you understand why.
If you don't want me to, I mean, it'll heal the way it is, but it'll be crooked.
Oh, all right. She looks at you, Johannes.
We don't have to do it today. You've been through a lot.
No. I mean, there's no time like the present.
I think it would be better to do it now because it's only gonna hurt worse the more you let it set in that configuration.
Right. She looks at you, Gaston. Maybe I will take you on that offer of vengeance, Sir Gaston, she says. In a really grim tone, by the way.
Would bring me great pleasure.
Alright, but maybe first, let's sit and talk before you start doing anything with my nose.
We'll go get a bottle of brandy. I think that will help with the setting. I'll be right back, and I go downstairs to get a bottle of brandy.
Yeah. You go downstairs. You fetch a bottle of brandy. By the way, Johannes, you know that, of course, Finron told the staff to give you whatever you want, and not to take any money from you. But you also know that taking a bottle of brandy just like that, brandy is expensive alcohol in the old world. And so you see that the bartender, he hesitates for a second, then just nods and slightly reluctantly gives you the battle.
I give him a crown.
He's like, no, sir, I can't take this. Master Finron told us to give you whatever you need. It's just, I'm sorry, my conduct was inappropriate. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. He says.
No problem. Thank you. This is a medical emergency.
He's like, you see that he is honest enough not to take money from you, and just, when you say medical emergency, he just nods and gives you the bottle. This is like this is good enough brandy. It's not the top shelf, and when you return, Gaston, you quickly take a glance at the bottle. Of course, the best brandy in the world is from Bretonia, naturally. And so, but it will probably do the job nice enough. As you return, Johannes, you see that probably Marla and Gustav sat on their bed, and they're just holding hands. Gaston, meanwhile, is I don't know, standing menacingly, or or also sitting on another bed. This time, probably yours, Johannes. I'm not sure what Gaston is doing, but it's.
Oh yeah, I'm just hanging out right now.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do. You don't want me fixing a nose. All I can do is break noses.
Yeah.
Punch her in the other side of her face.
Yeah. Gustav and Gaston, you see that Johannes enters the room of the brandy, Marla just looks at all of you and says, well, then please at least tell me that this day hasn't been a complete waste of time, and that we pushed something forward, so to speak.
So you may or may not have heard that that the kids have found out that she does go out a couple times a day during the day and the evening.
I mean, I've heard what that kid was talking about. I wasn't sleeping when I laid on the bed with Lambert, but
I understand.
Yeah.
I was just recapping. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So continue recapping. Of course. Sorry.
So we have that. I mean, that's not that's something, but it's not as much as we wanted. We know that we have to go visit the Gold College tomorrow afternoon.
Gold College.
Yes, I received a scroll from from our friend at the Jade College, Freck, Herr Freck, and we're supposed to meet him at the Gold College at noon tomorrow, and then we have to look and see if anyone answered our ad for a rat catcher this evening. So I don't know if maybe I'll stay here with Marla and Lambert, and you guys go to you and Gaston go to the One-Eyed Miller, or
I think maybe you should come with us.
Okay, well then the three of us will go. I have pretty much every confidence that Lambert and Marla will be safe here in the room. Don't you think so, Marla?
It's best if I stay with Lambert, and she looks
at
the halfling, with a very worried look on her face. I don't want for him to be alone at this moment.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And to be honest, I think that you guys will probably fare better with whoever you meet at the One-Eyed Miller. But the Gold College, wasn't that magician from some other place of magic? She asks. The one who helped Gustav.
Yes, but I fear that that the Gold College has gotten involved because they recognize something about that dagger that might be pertinent. And I'm gonna roll Common Knowledge Empire. Do I know what the purview of the Gold College is?
You wouldn't roll Common. All right, with -30 you would know that, but essentially you need to have knowledge magic or knowledge colleges of magic to even know what every single college is specializing in. Magic is
Knowledge
very
of the occult.
yeah, or the occult. Magic is
Yeah.
very, very narrow and unique knowledge in the old world, and most people don't want to have anything with it.
Not minus 30.
Yeah.
I only got minus 20. All right. It's like, I'm not exactly sure what the Gold College does, but my guess is that they know more about this weapon than the Jade College, and that's why they asked him to look at it.
There's
Oh.
this quiet.
It seems like the longer this goes on, the more people know about us.
Well, I mean, if that's great if we can solve it and all be heroes. Otherwise, we have to get out of town. But I mean, we already knew that. So.
It's not a good look for the business.
No, not. It's definitely not good advertising. But we all got to do what we got to do. I need to take another bathroom break real
Yeah.
quick.
All right.
So
And we'll be right back.
okay, cool. Alrighty. I don't know who else is back, but I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
I think all things considered, we got out of that fairly unscathed.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, 10 gold crowns for nothing gained.
I thought we were gonna have to stage like a jailbreak or something.
Kinda. I thought. Well, I was concerned that we were not going to be able to get you out of jail. So. So.
Yeah, I lost my cool with the Varinians. I figured they were either just trying to like break me publicly, or like they didn't know anything about that murder, and the witch hunter will like put me on his pyres if I said anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hard to know, but yeah.
I'm trying to move into the spy career next, so it seemed like an appropriate
Mm.
like path to go down.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I guess all we have left to do besides setting her nose is go and see if we can get a rat catcher. So it looks to me like we're well, we need to get in there somehow, and it's just a question of uh how much we um need to bring in outside help out of the group. You know?
I don't think the rat catcher has to do anything.
No, the
Like we
rat
just have
catcher does
to,
not have. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, he just has to find a way for us into the place. Is
and
what
be
we're hoping.
discreet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out if I have my timeline correct. Is it tomorrow that we're actually supposed to go back club?
Yeah.
At 7.
Or is it tonight?
I think
It's
I
actually,
think I think it's tomorrow.
yeah.
I think because we're still in
Mhm.
this day, right? We haven't switched over. All that last time happened, like I guess, like in the morning to afternoon, and we're still, as far as I know, in that day.
No, well, all the stuff that happened last time, but I want to say that the because I felt like last time was the next day after the
Yeah, we'll need to
going.
confirm because if obviously that won't be happening tonight if Lambert is not going, because he's supposed to go
Well,
with me.
I mean, we did discuss not having Labor go back because he fucked up, but
Right.
um, but yeah, I mean that is a little bit of a problem because we're down two people. Um, so yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Does anybody else want to be Oleg?
oh, you mean for tonight?
Yeah.
Or just in general? Well, I thought. I mean, we could do that. It's up to you. I just. I'm already having trouble remembering what my stupid names are.
I've like thrown this name around so much that
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be good to obscure who Oleg actually is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, like that Oleg guy. Oh, the halfling? No, the big Bretonian guy. Oh, I thought he was the.
Yeah.
So I don't think like we just basically can't botch the surgery, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any.
You can botch a surgery, and it's actually very dangerous. Because if, for
Oh no,
example,
I'm saying we need to make sure we don't botch.
oh yeah. Because if you, depending on the procedure, if you botch a surgery, you usually just kill a patient, or well, in case here, of course, you can, make things even worse when it comes to the nose. Or, for example, give her an infection, stuff like that. I mean, most surgeries, even in the old world, need to be done in a very sterile environment.
That's what the brandy's for.
Yeah, and not in a dingy tavern room, or sorry, inn room. But anyway, I think we can return because everyone's here. So let's please, guys, continue talking because I recall that you were discussing things before we took a break.
Yeah. What were we saying? So we were we were just discussing that we need to go to the miller later this evening. But what the other thing we were trying to figure out is the timeline is when we were supposed to go back to the Golden Triangle. Is that tonight or is that tomorrow night? I don't remember.
I think it was tomorrow.
That's what I think too.
Tomorrow night, yeah, tomorrow night. You don't have
Okay.
to worry for today.
Okay, good. So yeah, so then we can figure out the servant situation at that point. But anywho, okay. So I guess we're just so now we just need to wait until it's evening time and go over to the One-Eyed Miller. I don't think there's anything else we can aside from setting Marla's nose. I don't think there's anything else we can do.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
So for now, you'll probably be resetting Marla's nose and then waiting for the sunset to go to the miller. That said, Gustav, tell me, are you saying anything to the guys about your time in the jail and your trip back through the city?
Compared to the time I did at Reeker's Isle,
Right.
it was the Four Seasons coaching in, but the people there were all frenzying off of what seemed like Crimson Shade. They take the people, they lock them into solitary cells, and they let them work it out of their system. It seems like, and the captain had mentioned there were riots throughout the city. I hadn't heard anything else about that, but I saw it on my way back. There seems to be a fervor in the air.
Yeah.
We need to be careful traveling.
Yeah, the you missed it, but the kids told us that they refuse to go to the eastern part of the city and recommend that we don't go there either. So yeah, things are getting bad, and we need to figure this out pretty quick. All right. So how shall I assist you in resetting her nose? Here, Marla, take a swig of this.
Yeah.
I hand her the bottle.
She takes a mighty swig from the bottle. She coughs slightly because brandy is well, it is a strong alcohol. Remember, it's summer, so in this room, let me be very clear, with those many people and the heat outside, it's very hot. So she takes a swig from the bottle. She coughs. You can see that her eyes tear up a bit. And she's
I'm gonna take the bottle from her and take a small sip myself, and then hand it back to her.
Sure. You take the bottle. You take a very small sip and hand it back to her. You can even see that her eyes tear up slightly, and she gets her cheeks are like flushed red. She's saying like, oh, "This is good stuff," but I don't think that I can take another swig like that. All right. She looks at you, Gustav, and at you, Johannes. You boys do your holy work.
I'm gonna pop my knuckles, I guess.
I was
Close my eyes, say a little silent prayer to the goddess of mercy, and so what would we basically need Johannes, I guess, to be on standby in case there's a lot of bleeding or something. I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm just assuming that's what his role would be.
Pretty much.
Well, I'm assisting. I think maybe what I'm doing is, I've got extra ripped sheets handy or bandages handy,
Yeah,
and
ready to.
I'm holding her hands down so she doesn't
But
punch
I
you.
was I was gonna say I was gonna go over there and let her grasp onto my hands. That way
Okay.
she
Okay,
can
there
like
you go.
squeeze something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
she also grabs your hand, Gaston. She actually looks at you, Gustav, and says, "Shouldn't I be, you know?" She rolls her eyes. Chew down on something so not to scream.
Yeah, maybe like
Yeah.
a hard piece
Here,
of leather, something, a belt.
we've got this leather parchment case.
Doesn't Lambert have some
case.
like cooking spoons or something that we can just take from him?
Yeah, but if she's going to chew on a cooking spoon, and the pain will be so much that she
You break a tooth.
yeah, she essentially just going to break almost every single.
I'm saying like like in those old things where they put like a wooden handle like in there, but whatever.
Yeah.
Either way.
I mean the scroll, for example, the scroll case is actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'll give her that to bite down on.
Yeah. So she takes that, she bites down on it, and she she looks at you, Gustav, just nods her head as to indicate that she's actually ready. And so remember, before any roll, you can spend time preparing. So, for example, you can have up to plus 30% bonus, depending on the time that you spend preparing, of course. It will probably take like 20 minutes doing so, making sure that in which direction her nose should be reset.
Yeah. You're like looking at it from all angles.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Focusing yourself, calming your breath, stuff like that. Making sure that she's calm, because if she's not calm, then this won't be possible. But you can have plus 30%, and let's say normally it's impossible, but for this situation I will give plus 40% from Johannes, because normally you can only have plus 30 minus 30, but for I think that plus 40 is
does surgery help?
I mean, without surgery I don't think you would even be able to do that.
Okay.
Because this is essentially once again, I'm overusing the essentially word. Brian and Sean know that I really like this word. They've been RPing with me for some time, Andy, so I'm sorry you have to get used to it. Yeah, I mean, this is a surgical procedure of sorts. You're not using a scalpel, but this is a very invasive procedure. So, when you are ready, you go to work, Gustav. Now, please roll me plus 30%. And of course, you can use luck. If you...
Okay. I will use luck for a reroll if necessary.
Yeah, sure. I think you've passed with plus 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intelligence 53.
Yeah. So, it wasn't easy, and there was lots of pain and lots of muffled screaming from Marla. Gaston, at some point, you have your gloves on, you essentially have your armor on, but even through the metal and leather, you can feel the girl's grip just, so tight and so powerful as she reacts to the procedure. that you are pretty impressed. The tears, of course, are right now flowing freely down her cheeks, and she's completely red on her face from the exertion and from the pain. But with this disgusting loud crack, Gustav, you reset her nose after taking the Shalayan applied bandage. It goes back to its place. There's of course blood coming from her nostrils. You naturally wipe it out. You use, I would assume that you use some kind of material soaked in brandy, which is a very strong alcohol, so it's actually pretty good for disinfecting any wounds. After you're done, the girl just flops on the bed. She's not unconscious, but she's spent. You see that. She just pants heavily and very weakly and quietly says, "Thank you, I needed that. Oh, my nose." But you know, Gustav, that the procedure went well, and that in a few weeks' time, she should be fine.
I'm gonna put a clean gauze in her hand as she's laying on the bed.
Yeah.
And tell her to switch it out.
All right. She just, she's not even saying anything because she's too weak and too much in pain. She just nods her head feebly while holding the gauze. Yeah, that's mission accomplished. Well done. So, after that, I presume that you are just, after cleaning yourselves up a bit, you're just waiting for the sun to set, so you can go to the One-Eyed Miller, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. A few hours pass. Because this is summer, so it takes maybe slightly longer, for the sun to set. But eventually, the time comes and you leave Shepherd's Wand and go to the One-Eyed Miller, which is, if you look, of course, at the map, One-Eyed Miller is here, it's near Sigmar, it's near Zygmuntstrasse. It's between Zygmuntstrasse and Carulusstrasse. Gaston, you've never been there, and I don't think that Gustav and Johannes told you about their first, proper job in Altdorf. That was actually connected to the One-Eyed Miller. I don't know if you guys want to fill Gaston in when it comes to to Miller and its owner, of course, the criminal Karsten Leibniz. So if you want to say anything, then please RP that, because I'm not going to tell Gustav this. You should.
So it's actually a small dive bar. Doesn't serve food or anything. There's no rooms, but in the basement there's a rather large arena where they have bare knuckle boxing matches. And we worked there once before. We were supposed to look for somebody that was throwing fights. So we have a pretty good relationship with the owner. We've worked for him before.
All right.
Yeah, from what you gather, Gaston, this is probably some kind of not so legal place. I mean, if you would have to guess, given your limited experience with places like that, the front, is all fine, right? But but what happens behind the curtain, so to speak, or behind the closed doors in that place, it's something completely different.
I'm not sure you'd fit through the doorway wearing that armor.
Also recall, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you supposed to meet with a potential rat catcher in front of the building?
No, we just said there at the one-eyed, or at the one-eyed miller
Okay.
at sundown.
Okay.
So there might be like more than one people there for the job, but
Yeah. Let me quickly see.
Do some interviews.
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, they know me and Johannes, so maybe Gaston could be Oleg.
Gaston, would you ever consider changing your family name?
Would I need to be someone else?
Yeah. You.
I personally don't understand why you're worried about being Oleg now. 'Cause
Oh,
isn't it?
I'm not. Just that, like, if I become known as Oleg, then it kind of defeats the purpose. I don't want to be known as anything but Gustav.
I see what
And
you're saying.
I fear that, like, now I'm getting this reputation as Oleg.
Well, that's the problem with using the same alias every time.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, well, tell you what, I can be Oleg for this evening.
But you are also known there as Johannes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's just it. We're going to some place where we are known by our actual names.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's okay. I mean they know Sarah, but I'll be Oleg. It's fine. For the purposes of this evening's meeting.
Okay. As you approach the one-eyed miller, especially you, Gaston, I mean, Johannes and Gustav, you know this place, but you've never been here. You see that this place is much seedier than the Shepherd's Wand. It's also in a less, in a slightly bigger disrepair, so to speak. The building itself looks sturdy enough, but definitely has seen better days. And the clientele waiting outside, just sipping their drinks and talking quietly, they also look more rough, if you know what I mean. Not criminals per se, but definitely troublemakers, people who can who from time to time perhaps engage in some kind of illegal activities, stuff like that. And of course, when you are, moving past them, they eye all of you, especially you, Gaston. That said, you can feel that their gazes upon you are rather filled with uncertainty and perhaps even fear than than a challenge or calculated calculated assessment if they would be able to take you on. Inside, again, the place also differs slightly from the wand in that it's clear that you can only really drink here. There's probably no food served whatsoever, and the ale from the smell of it, you can say that it's on the cheaper side. Practically no wine, not to mention things like brandy and gin, and of course at this time of the evening, the place is almost full. The long tables are just filled with people. Smaller tables are also occupied heavily. So tell me, Gustav, Johannes, and Gaston, where do you want to go?
I guess a table in the corner.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. I'll yeah. Go ahead.
if we see Karsten or something, I'm gonna nod or wave to him.
No, Karsten. You know that Karsten is downstairs in the basement that is right now closed off because this night is not a fight night. So even if he's here, he's downstairs probably counting money and taking care of quote-unquote business. You don't even see the bookie. That said, you see that there's still the same bartender behind the bar. That was before the first time that you've entered this place. Actually, I'm going to roll for him if he'll see you. No, but he doesn't even notice you. There are way too many people, and he is way too busy, to spot you. As you are moving to the table, one of the last few vacant tables in one of the corners, Gustav, Johannes, and Gaston, you all know that that people are looking at you. Many people are looking at you, and you know why? Because of Gaston. He absolutely does not fit this place. A dashing Bretonnian knight in full plate with a beautiful sword at his hip. Because remember, the Gaston sword is a work of art, essentially a deadly art, but still. Tall, handsome, and with clear aristocratic features. And people here are mostly like those at the wand, but slightly worse, if you know what I mean. If
We
you,
got to work on this.
yeah, if you meet a docker at the wand, chances are that he's just an honest to God's, dock worker. A docker drinking here probably also works as a racketeer after hours. And so, as you are moving through the interior, you are gathering looks. But eventually, reach the small table at the back. You also know that there are no servers here. Servers. Serving girls, serving boys. If you want to order something, you go to the bar. If not, then you probably know that someone will approach you and ask you kindly to vacate the table for someone who will pay for their drinks.
I'll go get around for us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest. That if I'm Oleg tonight, that Gustav goes and gets drinks for us.
All right. So Gustav, you approach the bar, and when you actually approach the bar and wait for your turn, the bartender looks at you. You see that he squints his eyes and then says, "Oh, the Marienberger. Haven't seen you
I
here
smile
in a
and
while.
nod.
Haven't seen you here in a while. You're looking for more fights or something?"
No, actually, just around for my friends and I.
Hey, where's that ugly bastard with no nose that was hanging here? The one who fought at the arena.
He ran off.
Really? Well, that's strange. He was doing really well at the ring. I thought that maybe he would wish to continue this career. He would probably be pretty successful. But then,
Is
sorry, go ahead.
Is a Giuseppe here?
No, not tonight. Tonight's not a fight night, so he's back at home with his familia, he says, with this slight smile, as he's using an unfamiliar Tilean word that he actually knows.
But tell him the other guts said hi.
Sure, I'll convey your hi to him. Now tell me, you want to order something?
Yeah. Just a pitcher and 3 glasses.
Right. He says, and then he produces a pitcher made from tin, fills it with this is no slop, but this is certainly not a decent beer, not a good beer. It's just that it's decent. Fills it to the brim with the golden lager. Gives you also 3 metal steins, and for all this he says 4 pennies.
I give him 5.
He says much obliged, thank you, have a good evening. Next. And with
I
that,
return to the table.
Yeah, with that you return to the table. You pour everyone probably a generous measure of the beer. It's
No wine.
Oh,
Wine made from barley.
I didn't consider that.
I
You,
won't be drinking this. This place is like a bad bottle of wine. Very
I'll go
unpleasant.
back up to the bar.
Saying
Do they
the
even
song.
have wine here?
yeah, that's a good question. You're not sure because you haven't seen anyone drinking anything other than beer here.
They, he probably has a personal stash or something.
You return to
I
the
would
bar.
say.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna tell him not even to worry about it. I was trying to say this place is very unpleasant. I don't really care.
Okay, if you stop me, I'll sit
Yeah.
back down.
Definitely don't want any wine from this place.
This is the champagne of beers.
Yeah. Well, highlight. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't really come here to drink. Do you do much gambling in Bretonia?
Definitely not.
Is that the knights not gamble?
I don't.
It's one of my few vices. I like watching the fights here. I trained for a
Yeah.
little bit myself back in Marienburg, but I got beat up a lot.
Yeah.
I can
They're
see
too
that.
pretty. Yeah, as I recall, you also lost a lot of money.
But I think in the end I came out on top.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was a profit in the end. The second fight I lost money. The third fight I went all in on something weird, and
Yeah, I mean your endeavors here didn't end up that badly. I think you came out on top in the end. So you know. That said, you are Gaston. So you're not touching the beer, right?
No.
All right. So let me quickly do one thing.
The rest of us have been roofied.
No, actually, no one noticed that you're not touching a beer, and because people are way too busy drinking their own. So no one took offense to that.
And they know what's good for him and won't insult him about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if someone is drunk, then it doesn't matter that there's a heavily armored Bretonnian knight sitting on the other side. The alcohol works as liquid courage in this instance. So, remind me, guys, you in the notices you've written to meet you here in the corner, or just in the inn in general.
the one I know.
That's
I should probably tell the bartender. Anybody asking for Oleg to send them this way.
yeah. That's what you should do because that's what it says. It says substantial pay for half a day's work. Meet tomorrow before dusk at the One-Eyed Miller for open interviews. Ask for Oleg.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I'll go back up and tell the bartender.
Okay. You go back to the bartender, and what are you saying to him? To just direct anyone who's asking for Oleg to the table. Yes.
To our table,
Okay.
and I'll put a silver on the counter for him.
The bartender says, "Well, tonight's my lucky night," he says, and you know, he pockets the coin. I'll make sure to convey traffic to your direction. In your direction, he says, with a
I
slight
give him a
smile.
little salute.
Yeah. It takes you probably another 10 minutes of just sitting and sipping beer. Well, you, Johannes, and you, Gustav. Gaston just probably looks around disapprovingly. Before a weaselly-looking man in really dirty clothes and, you know, who smells... Well, he smells like a sewer, and there's no going around that. The only... you know that, for example, in the wand, he would stand out, but here there are so many people who don't smell good that only when he's really close to you do you actually, you know, smell the aroma. You see that he has this you know, thin face with old, like not pox scars, but what's the word, like like when you had boils and they burst and they leave those marks.
The scars,
Yeah.
pock marks, I
Yeah,
think they're
pock
called.
marks. Thank you. Yeah, pock marks. You can see that also. Of course, he is armed. He has like 2 daggers under his cloak. He is perpetually stooped, and he says, "Good evening, my Ellen. I've heard about your notice. A Dayon Eman at your service." And he first bows very low in front of you, Gaston. And then he looks at you, Johannes, and you, Gustav, and he just nods.
I'll nod back and grab a chair for him.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
don't you worry, I can get my own chair, he says. And he quickly grabs his own chair, just like he said. And he, sits on his own chair.
So I say, pleasure to meet you. I'm Oleg.
Oh, you're Oleg, so you're the man who wants to hire my service, I presume.
That is correct.
Well, let's talk business, Oleg. But first, where are my manners? Or rather, your manners. Won't you introduce your 2 friends to me?
Sure. I point to Gaston and see if he'll introduce himself.
Okay. I'm Sir Gaston Leroux.
Oh, I see. Bretonnian. Yes, I'm very honored to be in a company of such a fine man as yourself, Sir Ladue. I hope that I've spelled it correctly. He didn't, by the way.
Right. I just nod and just stare at him
And
because I don't care.
and this young fella here, by the way, you can't really tell how old is this man. He looks so weathered and just beaten up by life that he could be 20 years old or he could be 50 years old. You have no idea.
Schneider.
That's a fancy name you have there. And you see that he didn't cut on your accent. All right, Schneider and Oleg and Sergas Ladue. What do you want from old Eman, eh?
We have a sensitive task.
A sensitive
need
is my
someone.
middle name.
We're interested in and I get down close to him, braving the smell. I go,
Yeah.
We're interested in a
He actually puts up his hand. Sorry, before I listen to you, I'm mighty thirsty this night. Mighty thirsty indeed.
Oh, we happen to have an extra stein right here.
Oh, that's
And I pour him the stein I hand him the stein that Gaston refused to drink out.
that's mighty fine of you. Mighty fine. And he, gulps half of the stein in a single in a single gulp, and then belches, not too quietly. The guy stinks, but the aroma emerging from his mouth is even worse, by the way. It is just literally abhorrent. Oh, excuse me, he says. I had a sausage before with quite a lot of garlic and onions, if you know what I mean. Good for your health.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, continue, Oleg.
Well, we need someone to help us find a possible hidden entrance.
Hidden entrance. That's
Yeah.
That sounds like some kind of a criminal endeavor. And he looks.
Oh no!
And he looks at Gaston with this rather surprised look on his face. Not to chivalrous, I would say. Huh?
Oh, well, it really doesn't have anything to do with Gaston here.
Oh, I
He,
see.
he he's he's here for our protection.
Oh, I see. Wait, so a Bretonnian knight is protecting you? That's some interesting shit right here.
Yes, yes. But more about the job we need performed.
Yes, of course.
And actually, it's not uncommon for Carsonians to travel and employ their martial abilities.
I have no
So you
idea
know.
what a croissant is. I'm sorry. But I'm sure it's some kind of strange Bretonnian custom. No
It's a
offense.
buttery roll.
Exactly.
I see.
Cream-filled pastry.
I see. So anyway, about this job, you want to break somewhere? Is that it?
No, more like more like we've been invited to a place that appears to only have one entrance, and we would like to know if there's another way out.
I see. A way out for no doubt some nice loot extraction. Yes.
Well,
More in case they
That-
tried trapping us inside.
Oh.
yeah, but for if someone were to help us, they'd be free to have whatever loot they could find. It just happened to fall into their hands.
That's a mighty
Accident.
interesting thing that you have here. Some heist, I would say. It smells like a heist. Is it a heist?
No.
No,
All
no,
right.
we're
Like-
just trying to make sure that that when our man goes inside, that he is able to get out again.
I see. All right. Well, for starters, I am a guild member. When it comes to my profession. Just so you know, I'm an honest man. I earn honest living, and I would never do anything illegal. Just so we are clear.
Okay.
So this is not something illegal, right?
Oh no, not at all.
All right. So what is the place that we are potentially talking about?
Well, it's in the. Let me scroll through the notes.
It's in the Emperor's Palace?
Yeah, it's in the Palace of Retribution.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, what?
It is. Damn. When was it that we went in there?
If you are asking about Golden Triangle, it's on the
Like on the
southern part-
east. Yeah.
No, southern part
Right.
of the city near the
Yeah, it
walls.
well, I thought we had an actual
There's a map, right?
Yeah. Well, we had an actual region of the city. I was just trying to look for the region of
I
the
mean,
city.
it's somewhere here, essentially. Pink. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Pink.
Oh, Everard Har. Okay, Everard Harstein. Now I know who that is.
Yeah, Everard. Yeah, exactly. The boss, supposedly the boss. of
Yeah.
the- of the
Okay.
place.
Well, I don't recall what section of the city was, but anyway, yeah. So I just say, where the Golden Triangle is.
Wait a second. He'll roll for this. 25. Yeah. He's like Golden Triangle. I've heard about this place. It's some kind of fancy club, right? It's in the South
Correct.
Bank. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure the sewers there smell extra good.
I see. Wait a second. I'm going to South Bank. Give me a second. He says, "Oh yeah, here it is. I have it. Sorry, guys. It took me a while, but oh yeah, I think it's near the Hammerpfad, or I think Zugarden. Very fancy place, not far from old Carl Francis Palace, indeed. Yes. Well, I
Yes.
mean, I usually don't go there. They don't really like my kind there. At least not in the open. They are, of course, not averse. They're not being averse to us traveling the canals and making sure that they are safe. But them rich folk, we don't belong in their clean and nice worlds, right?
Yes. I know what you mean.
So let me tell you this: there's absolutely no chance for me to be able to walk those streets openly. I will simply get chased away by the guards. So, if I get this right, you want to see if there's an entrance to this club from under the streets, yes?
That
And
is correct.
anything unusual of note in the sewers
What
in
do
that
you-
area?
He looks at you coolly. Define unusual.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. So you mean traps, perhaps?
Comings and goings of dangerous people, perhaps.
Through the sewers. Well,
Correct.
I mean, unless this place is a smuggling den, then I'm sorry to disappoint you, boys, and you, good Sir Knight. He looks at you, Gaston. But most people, especially most people like the ones who frequent this club, they usually don't use sewers as means of communication and travel. Just, a free tip from old Dayon here.
Well, Dan, that's the problem is we suspect that there may be something going on that needs rectifying, and we need an expert to show us the way.
But do you want me to actually take you there, perhaps? Like, to the sewers from below? Or do I just need to make a recon sortie and return and report back to you? Because I still don't understand what exactly am I supposed to do.
Well, I think since you say you don't want to really be involved in anything, we're not intending to do anything
No,
illegal.
I don't want to
but
be involved in anything illegal.
right.
So
My suggestion, my thought would be, Herr Amon, that what we're going to have you do is see if there's something going on where they are getting in and out of the triangle through the sewers, and either make us a map or mark on the walls a path for us so that we know how to get there,
I can
and
do
then
that.
we'll do the rest
Well,
and
I
pay
mean,
you for your time.
I won't be able to to make you a map, and I'm sure as hell not going to give you mine. After all, this is my trade we are talking about here. But I can do the markings on the walls. Markings, such markings that even you will be able to not fail to that even you will be able to spot them without any problems.
Does it look like 3 sticks crossing each other? No.
No, the reverse. No, the reverse circle.
Inside out circle.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, the exact nature of the markings we can discuss. But first, we need to discuss my fee.
Well, we said that we would pay you. We would pay you a day's worth of work for half a day's job. So.
But this
so
is
what's-
not exactly your standard day's job, right? This is not exactly something completely normal.
Okay, well, So in other words, name your price.
All right, so he's
It's time to haggle.
yeah.
No, okay, I'm kidding.
Actually, no, you will haggle with him in a second, of course.
Okay.
You will, but let me quickly see one thing, and I think I should have it here. Oh yeah, here it is. He says that. Well, for hard days of work. Normally, yeah. You see that he either pretends or he really does count on his fingers, as he's like thinking very hard.
Takes off one boot.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah,
Here's the 3.
yeah, count, yeah. Fine, I will do this job for you for 4 shillings. You know that, by the way, that's a lot. And there's no way in hell that this man earns 4 shillings a day.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, tell you what. I will give you. Let me re-look up my conversion rate. I will give you 3 shillings and 6 pennies.
Right? In that case, he says he still wants 4 shillings. You want to give him 3 shillings and 6 pennies.
Yeah.
If you win, you will pay him only 3 shillings. If he wins, you will pay him 4 shillings and 6 pennies.
This is stingy as shit.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta use my haggle skill. Come on.
Yeah. So let's make an opposed haggle roll.
Alright.
I mean, yeah. Roll. You're going to win this. I'm sure without any problems. Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do it for free.
He died.
Yeah.
He dropped dead.
He dropped dead at
Chokes
the
on it.
table. He choked on the beer. He's dead. No, he's saying, all right. Like, Gustav and Gaston, you see that for at least 2 to 3 minutes, Johannes and the man, Dayon, engaged in this very heated, like, haggle battle.
I wouldn't take part in this.
Sorry, what?
This is like when you go to a restaurant with someone and they start arguing with the waiter and you're just embarrassed.
Yeah. Like, pretty
I've
much.
It's a perfectly good tip.
Pretty much. Fortunately, this place is so loud and you are, sitting in a corner that no one really takes interest in you. Eventually, you have no idea even how it came to this, but Johannes, the man, offers to take this job only for 2 shillings.
Right.
And he's like, all right, 2 shillings, but not a penny less, he says.
Yeah, okay. 2 shillings. You strike a hard bargain here, Amen.
Yes, and you can take care of yourself pretty well too, Oleg, he says. Right, but you pay me first half before the job, the second half after the job.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. So tomorrow, he says, and he lowers his voice to almost a conspiratorial whisper. Tomorrow, I will go to the sewers and mark the route to the club, to the underside of the club, with a special symbol. I am going to tell you about this symbol when we meet after the job is done, but before you enter there yourselves. I will also check if there's even an entrance from below. If there is, I will check for traps and any potential guards for you. But I will not, and he says, enter the cellar, if there is an entrance there. And there's no way, there's not enough money in the world for you to convince me to do otherwise.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
Very well. And I will inform you of any strange or unusual things that I might have spotted there. All right? Deal?
Deal. I spit in my hand.
He spits in his hand, disgusting hand, by the way,
Yeah.
and shakes yours, and you never felt so dirty in your life. After that, he quickly finishes the beer. Once again, hiccups quietly and says, "Well, it was pleasure doing business with you. So maybe tomorrow, fourth afternoon bell, same place here, and I will give you the signs and the information."
Yes.
All right.
Sounds great.
Excellent. I'll see you then. And he once again almost bows to you, Gaston, and nods to you, Gustav and Johannes, and then quickly leaves. The smell lingers for a while after he left. So,
Okay. Well, that went about as well as we could have hoped.
Yeah, good haggling there. I'm glad you're in charge of the business and not me.
Yes. Actually, because I have Dealmaker, it was even more of a success.
yeah. And I mean, he
But anyway.
dodged with 100.
Yeah.
Bought that with 100, yeah.
Yeah. So
'Cause somehow he paid me. Yeah.
he offered you a handy in the back alley.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
No, actually, sorry, Sean. You know what? You only paid him a single shilling, like because he rolled 100. That's
okay.
the worst thing. So he offered
Okay.
you, he offered to the job for a single shilling. You still know that this is probably way more than he earns during the day. So, like, you know, he's still going to get his money. Yeah.
And hopefully he'll still be alive at the end of this job.
Hopefully. So, what are you going to do now?
Well, I'm going to wash my hands.
Sadly, there's really no place here to do that. You need to return
I
to your.
I pour what's left of the pitcher of beer in my hands.
Yeah.
So at least smelling like sticky stale beer is better than smelling like shit.
Yeah, like.
I suggest we repair to the Shepherd's Wand, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the streets too late with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And then we'll relax and prepare for tomorrow's adventures.
True, and as you return to Shepherd's Wand, you wonder what tomorrow will bring and what will happen in the Goat College if Dayon Eman will actually make good on his promise to scout the sewers under the Golden Triangle. You wonder how long will Lambert stay in the state that he's in, and if Gustav, you think you hope that Marla's nose will get better soon. And of course, as you make your way through the through the night towards your destination, as you are even crossing the street of 100 taverns with all the people going back and forth, visiting establishment after establishment, drinking and having a good time. Even through all this, even through the sounds and noises of this very busy street, you swear that in the distance you can hear this sounds of howling and screaming and violence, and you wonder how much time does Altdorf actually has left before the epidemic of the shade completely tears the city apart. And for now, I think we shall end this is a good place to stop for the evening. So next time, hopefully,
Alright.
Michael will be able to rejoin us, and you all start right at the dawn of a brand new day, fresh day. So for today's game, everyone gets 65 points. For your characters, everyone gets 10 points, of course. For place of birth, Gustav, you get 10 points. You mentioned Rigger's Isle. You mentioned even to me that that you have the accent, so that should be taken into account. That was pretty cool. Johannes, Reikland. Actually, you know what? I am going to give you 5 points just because I see that you very often take lead when it comes to conversations and discussions, negotiations, stuff like that. This is very Reiklandy thing to do because Reiklanders believe that they are leaders of the empire, given the fact that this is the province from which Sigmar actually came. I mean, back then, of course, it wasn't Reikland, it was the Unbergen tribe, but still.
Right.
So, and I see that you are often, maybe not leader per se, but the spokesperson and someone who takes initiative. So I'm going just going to give you 5 points for that, and if
Gustav got 10.
yeah, Gustav got 10, and if you have something else to add, then please do.
No, I don't.
Okay. Gaston, I will give you 10 points because you've been Bretonian enough and you actually nicely implemented Carcassonne today in the discussion, so of course 10 points for you. Now, religion, Gustav, 10 points for you. There was Shalia, you did the sign in the slammer.
Oh,
Johannes,
magpie, make my mind sharper than their blades.
yeah, that too, that was pretty nice. Johannes, what about you?
I just thank Sigmar for his safe return. I think that was the only thing that I did god wise. I'm trying to think if I don't think I did anything else.
I can give you 5 points for that. Yeah, you thank Sigmar, and don't worry, it's actually pretty refreshing to see Johannes not being so fanatically religious as what was your name? Leopold was.
Leopold was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, I feel like the most religious Johannes has had to be is because Gustav and Lambert are talking shit about Sigmar.
Yeah, that's true. But today, fortunately, no one insulted the best god in the universe. So you were all good. And Gaston, you were saying something about the Lady of the Lake today. I remember.
Yeah, I said thank the lady for the old lady, and then I said give thanks to the lady when Gustav returned.
Okay, I think I can give you 10 points for that. That was pretty well implemented. After that, we have star signs. Gustav, what about you?
The dancer. The only thing related to that, I was trying to joke with the bartender because we're regulars, sort of. I've worked there before.
Okay, yeah, that was actually pretty nice. I can give you 5 points for that. Sure. Johannes, what about you?
The Piper. I was trying to cut deals with the kid and with the
With the sewer jack. Okay, 10 points. Yeah, very very good. Gaston, what about you?
It's the drummer. It's excessive, hedonistic, and celebratory.
I will definitely give you 5 points. You know for what?
Okay.
For talking about the captain and the violence. That
right.
And you know that you love violence, that you won't do violence to him. That was excessive, by the way. And even you know
right.
that. Even your character, even though you're not from here, you know that. That's probably well, Johannes commented on that afterwards.
Yeah.
So I will definitely give you 5 points. But if you think that you earn 10, that you deserve 10, then please tell me.
No, I think that's fair.
Okay, so 5 points. After that we have Doomings, Gustav.
Thou shalt sup from the cup of corruption. I had a small sip of brandy to show solidarity with Marla while we were setting our nose.
Okay, cool. That's really nice because I actually thought that you took the sip like in real life. I know I don't know if you guys know that, but sometimes chirurgeons, even neurochirurgeons, take a small amount of alcohol before operation because it steadies their
Yeah.
hands. Like very small, of course. I'm not talking about a drink, but like a sip. So I thought that it was for that, but if you are saying that this was, because of solidarity, I like that. I will give you 10 points for that. That was because I know how hard it is to roleplay this. Johannes, what about your dooming?
The peacock thing, no.
Okay, yeah, just find an old woman and reroll that shit.
Yeah.
because that's just
I like
bad.
it.
I know, but
it's hard for me to roleplay.
I know, but
agree.
I would like to give you
Yeah.
points for that.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll find an old. Hey, you.
Yeah. Hey, you peacock.
Did this for me.
Yeah. Gaston.
And Gaston, I don't know what his doom is.
Yeah. What about your doom?
Its indulgence in thy dark desire shall end thee. I almost feel like I should re-roll that one as well. I mean, if really me wanting to kill a guard is a dark desire necessarily for a Bretonian, so I don't know.
Yeah. I can give you 5 points for that, but definitely, this is a dangerous, by the way, dooming, potentially dangerous, because
Right.
if you decide to RP this, then your character could really get into trouble. So, sure, maybe just take Johannes in tow and find an old hag and just reroll your dooms. But I can give you 5 points for that. And finally, since Lambert wasn't here, I mean no racial points. Does anyone have any idea that pushed the adventure forward today?
The rat catcher help?
But I mean, yeah, you hired him, but if it work out, we don't know yet.
True. Yeah.
I think
so Lambert
next
doesn't get
session,
anything, right?
potentially. No, I mean Lambert gets half of your. I don't remember how we were doing this.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah,
that's why I had.
Sorry, what, Gustav?
Isn't it half of the average?
Yeah, half of the 65 that we are getting. So give him 30 because we always count down in Warhammer, not up. So Lambert just gets 30 points. So no, Ratcatcher not yet. And the kids, the kids, for the kids, all of you get 5 points, including Lambert. I'm even giving 5 to Gaston. I mean, it was before he joined, but he's part of the group, so I think that's just fair. And I don't even remember who came with the kids' idea in the first place. So. But yeah.
I feel like it was Lambert, right?
Probably, but I'm not sure. So let's say that everyone gets 5 points, including Lambert.
Yeah, I think it was his. I mean, it was my idea to get spies. It was his idea to use kids.
Yeah. Child labor.
I figured they were his since he was cooking for him and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, he's the one that went all out with it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, for this, everyone gets 5 points, the whole party. And I think that's it, honestly. I don't think that there were any more ideas that push the adventure forward. I think that next session, the sewer jack will, depending on if he fails or succeeds, potentially net you 5 more points at the end. But we shall see. And for that, honestly, that's that. So. Gustav also remember that Marla takes half of your experience and to take care of her character sheet. Yeah. Okay. So
Sounds good.
As for the next game session, 2 weeks from now is 17th March.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, I mean,
it's not that big a holiday.
we kind of celebrate it here, of course, but not really. I mean, if it's some kind of holiday with you guys, then of course we can skip. But
I don't. It's like if you're not pissing green by the end of the day, did you really celebrate?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you said it's on a Sunday, anyways. I mean, I bet you. I mean, I don't know. Most things aren't going to happen until the game's over, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's up to
anyway.
you guys. Doesn't matter to me.
I just I just know it is St. Patrick's Day. I don't really care. I mean, we just have dinner, but if we're playing our normal time, it's way before dinner for me. So
yeah. Brian, what about you?
What day again?
17th.
17th. Yeah.
Okay, so for now, let's stick with 17th. I will need to ask Michael if he's alright with that. And depending on whether he says yes or no, we'll go with the 17th. But for now, yeah, this is the day of our next game. Thank you all so much for playing, and yeah, have a great rest of your day.
You too.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
See you later, guys.
Bye.